Hey everybody, what's going on? What's going on? I am your boy Fire Nighthawk, hosting episode 2 of HawkPack Nation's talk show. We are going to be talking about a lot of different things, and let me move that out the way. And I am gracefully blessed to be joined by some wonderful guests here tonight. To my left, I'm in the middle, just like how I want to be. Yeah, to the left, to the left, I have my one and only Monty. She's over here joining us once again. Everybody say hi. And then to the right over here, we have the one above none, chilling.
What's up?
Man, put the hat down so we can see what hat you got.
Oh, you want to see the Sonic and the Tails joint?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Look at that. So how excited are you about this movie coming out, bro?
I'm not.
You're not?
You're not?
You're not?
Okay. New Sonic, same shitty movie plot. I'm just saying.
No. Hey. I got to give them respect.
Okay.
They spent like $33 million changing how he looked. If they're willing to cave to people's demands, I am willing to spend my $8 to go watch that movie. I mean, it might be a bad movie, but hey, I'm gonna have fun watching it no matter what.
I didn't say I wasn't gonna go see it. I'm just not excited for it.
Oh, okay.
He's just not excited. Gigi, thank you for those 10 bits, and also thank you for that host. I appreciate that. Welcome everybody. Welcome Sai also in chat. And speaking of Sai, down below our regular star of the evening, Sai. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
She's the what? Double resubscribing with that tier 3 for 16 months in a row. Can we get some love for Double with that 16 months in a row? Damn, Double, we starting to show our age, ain't we? Yes. Thank you, Double. Thank you, Double. Can we get some hype up in the chat? Like, everybody there is basically a sub, because I know, because everybody there was freaking gifted one, either by the death of Dr. Pepper or
Or Adam.
or Adam Lucy, bro. Adam Lucy, man. Where he's Adam would have been around, but he's out trucking it and you know, he's doing his thing and everything. But he said he might come join us later. You know, he might give us one of those field sorts from out there in the road, see how that snow handling. But yeah, Asai's like our professional here because she's the only one out here that has a degree in you know, psychology, for she can tell everybody if we're full of shit or not. So I already know. Hold on, let me raise my chair and everything. You know, I already know I'm full of shit. So you know, you ain't got to study me that hard. I already know I'm full of shit. But you know, she's our resident and professional. Actually, you know, I give Sai a hard time sometimes, but this girl is like smart as shit. Seriously, she is smart as shit. She has her bachelor's in psychology, and she's going for her bachelor's in information technology right now. So when I say that she actually
my field,
she actually knows her shit. She actually knows her shit, and she can say he's a piece of shit. So it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I can take that from her. It's her professional opinion. I can take that from her. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Okay, then down right below us is the one and only Tito. He's down there joining us once again. Yeah, you know, we're saying down there.
Down there.
Yeah, down
Oh,
there.
that's cold.
Wait, for me, it's so.
I ain't dropped the boot, but I'm just pointing that you feel me?
He's you know,
I'm trying to figure out which way he was.
I had to do the same thing. You know, I'm just gonna be like, oh shit, hold on, no. Somewhere
Oh
around
Lord. Oh Lord.
I mean, it happens. I had to figure, show me the way. Show me the way.
I show you the way.
Yeah. I had to get somebody to show me the way the other day, and then I bit off more than what I probably could chew.
He had a coming to Jesus moment.
Bro. Okay, so if you look in the clip section of my Discord, Gigi got choked up, and I mean that there was somebody who was just putting that healing rod all up in me.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Well, I'm gonna have to go look at that when I
got pieced up.
Yeah, I mean, Gigi's like, no, leave me alone. Gigi started choking. It would trip me out. Gigi started choking.
I'm gonna look at that Gigi and I'm gonna laugh and I'm gonna have fun time.
Oh man, it was so funny because like I didn't make that clip, but in the clip I was gonna make, there was a clip where the person said, "Can I get some heels?" And literally they typed in the chat, it said, "Sorry, heels are only for daddy." I was just like, oh shit, I'm gonna be in so much trouble. Oh, okay, yeah. So there it is, chat. There it is. Y'all can see it now. It was freaking hilarious. We had Gigi even put the daddy one. Oh my god. It was so freaking funny. We had so much fun the other night with that shit that it was just unbelievable.
Thank you, Gigi.
It was unbelievably controlled. Gigi, appreciate that. Thanks for that. They called me Kat. How are you doing? Welcome, 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 welcome. All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you. I almost thought that the show wasn't going to happen. So, I almost got a little bit discouraged. I had to go take me a nap because I was just like, oof.
Did you get a warm blankie?
Yeah, dude, man. I'm talking about I snuggled up. My bed was like, where have you been? Where have you been?
Hot cup of milk too?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't get no hot cup of milk. I almost got me a drink though. I almost got me a drink though.
Couple stiff fingers there.
Shoot, man, the bottle is in the refrigerator right now. Okay, I'm telling you, the bottle is in the refrigerator right now. But yeah, naps are awesome. I have to be careful with naps though, because my naps end up becoming like sleep mode.
Like naps is like God. Oh man, what year is it? Oh, what?
I have to fight my bed. I have to be like, get off me, let me go.
We over here talking about naps. Monse over here yawning.
I know.
I'm tired.
She over here yawning and stuff, and I'm like, shoot.
I have a blanket.
Oh wow! You brought. So we
weak.
having a blanket party up in this motherfucker.
It's a slumber party up in this mother.
Do I need to go get mine?
It's really cold in here, actually.
Hey,
Mine is right there. I can just roll over.
Oh man, you lucky. I'm in an office, so I have to go all the way on the other side and everything. I need to go get my freaking Paw Patrol blanket and everything. Don't you judge me. Don't you judge me. Don't you judge me.
I bet it's Marshall.
Yes.
Yeah, shit.
Okay,
Yes, it is. I got a huge Marshall too, like the stuffed animal. I got a huge one. I do.
No comment. No comment.
I got a huge.
Yeah.
That's not.
Gigi's like, I'm under my blankets.
Oh,
You feel better, bro. You feel better, bro.
Oh man, it gets like that. All right, guys. So, oh wow, woo, boy, we got some topics here. We got some topics here. There's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. A lot of crazy shit going on in the world. I mean, I can't believe some of the stuff that I read about and some of the things. I was just like, do I really want to talk about some of this stuff? Because some of this stuff actually gets you kind of heated. I mean, especially in light of, like one thing that I know we're going to talk about. It might get, I hope it doesn't gets the wrong opinion. But there's one thing that I know we're going to talk about, that there's been other issues that have happened. Most recently, the one with the woman in Texas, the Texas State Police officer. What was her name? Amber something. The one that shot the guy. Oh, you ain't up to code. You ain't up to date on this, bro. Let me educate you.
Oh.
I gotta go. Let me go find this article. So.
Are we talking about chick that went to jail for shooting dude in his own house?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm up to speed.
Okay, that is the most craziest shit I have ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Craziest shit I have ever heard. How is it that you walk into somebody else's house and think that it is yours? Because this is the thing. It ain't like, he had a plain open room that didn't have anything that decorated or actually showed that it was his. He had stuff on the walls, he had furniture, everything like that. Wouldn't you feel weird or feel out of place the moment that you take one freaking inch past the door? You notice that, damn, that's not my couch.
Nah, man.
Damn.
Nah, man. No. I'm feeling weird the minute I get up to my door and my key don't work. You feel me?
But that's the thing.
It was open, right?
His door, it was unlocked. I don't think the door was open.
Yeah,
it was unlocked. So That's to me that is though one of those red flags where if I put my key up in here, if it don't turn, because it still shouldn't turn. It still shouldn't turn. But because if you just got off from work, automatically you're gonna think your door's locked. Because don't everybody lock their doors when they leave the house?
Sure enough.
Yeah.
Okay, I do too. And
Wasn't she like? Hadn't she been out drinking or something?
No, she just got off from work.
Oh,
She was
she
still
had
in
just gotten
uniform.
off.
Yeah, she had worked a double shift, and she hey Aquaman, what's going on?
That's one of my people from the Justice podcast.
Oh, hey Aquaman. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you here.
Alternative factuals. Thanks for coming through, bro.
Yeah, we really thank you, an honor, man. Glad to have you here. But no, she had just got off from working a double shift, so I guess they work 12s. They don't do 24s and stuff, but they work 12s. And she had just got off from working a double, so she had worked at 24. And she came home. She lives on the 3rd floor, and she went to the 2nd floor.
All right. So the case that was already decided. All right.
Yeah, no. This case is already.
It's already
decided.
good.
But it's just leading up to this other one what we're about to have here. But like, you go up to the 2nd floor. She goes to the apartment that's directly below her, so it's in the same area. And to me, I'm gonna put my key up in there, even if it's on accident. I'm gonna put my key up in there, and the moment that damn thing don't turn, I'm gonna look up at the damn number on the door and be like, "Oh shit!" And then I'm gonna get the fuck on down. I don't care if I'm a cop or not. I'm getting the fuck on down. Cause down there in Texas, they don't play. They'll shoot a motherfucker. Don't give a fuck if you're a cop or not.
Yeah.
They'll shoot shit. They don't give a shit. And like, I would literally leave. I would just leave and be like, all right, where the fuck am I? Because I imagine, I don't know like what number it is or anything, but surely you look up, you're gonna know it's not yours. So then I'm gonna get the fuck on down, and then I'm gonna get up to mine. Regardless if the door is unlocked or not, don't nobody go to their house after they've been gone for 24 hours, or even not even be gone for an hour or so, and automatically just think, well, I know I locked the door, but I'm just gonna try to turn the handle anyway.
Roll up in there.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do that shit.
My guy Aqua, he just wants to recap because he came in midway through, so we just kind of to catch up to speed. We're talking about that one case, AF, about the cop who shot the African American male in his own house because she thought that was her apartment and he was in there. So there's your recap.
Yeah. And honestly, we're just building up because we're about to talk. In fact, we're probably just gonna go ahead and start with that one. We're gonna go ahead and.
I would say the probably the only reason that they have it is it's an apartment building. Apartment buildings, they all literally look the same. They're meant to look the same.
But if I put my key up in there and that damn thing don't turn, I am gonna look up. That's my automatic reaction because I'm gonna think, oh shit, I fucked up.
But let me check the NPR thing again, because I'm pretty sure that they just walked in, that it wasn't locked.
No, it wasn't. Oh, I know it wasn't. No, it was unlocked.
So that's what you put your key in, and it even it doesn't turn, but you're going in.
But don't apartments have bolt locks and stuff though?
No, they usually have two. They usually have a deadbolt, and they usually have the bottom one, and the one with the door handle.
Yeah, because
they have two.
Well, apartments, most apartments, which I mean, this different states, different areas, whatever. Mm-hmm. But most apartments, they don't change the doorknob portion. They have the little bolt lock thing to where that's the part that locks. Mm-hmm. But even if they don't, you can rekey. You can always rekey rekey the key, the handle thing, the door lock. You can rekey that.
But now they're saying that the door was open. Was it partially open? Was it all the way open? I mean,
no. Okay, they just turned the handle and walked in, is what I believe.
Yes, that's what I had heard. Let me go. I'm gonna go and find out.
Kat, it's usually, this is after a 24-hour shift. I'm not excusing it, but this is after a 24-hour shift. They said that not sleeping for like your full 8 hours or whatever, and driving for a long time, you're actually almost the same impaired as taking a couple drinks and for of alcohol. So you do a
Oh.
lot of stupid things without thinking. You go on
Okay.
autopilot,
Okay.
but still.
So listen to this. Now
Mm.
this was wrote recently.
Where is this from?
WFAA.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this in our chat.
Just because if we're gonna speak something, I want to have some receipts. You feel me?
Wait, she
Oh yeah.
got 5 years.
Boy, that's you don't even want
That
to get me started.
that whole court the whole hearing is a whole
Yeah,
separate can of worms.
yeah, you don't even want to get me started on that.
That was some
That
extra stuff that yeah.
I thought I was watching a movie plot, man. I'm
I mean,
serious.
it probably will be a coming movie.
Oh, you know it is. Look what they
She
did to
about
the
to make
one that.
bank.
Look at the one that killed killed the kid. Then now she down in Florida living it up and everything. I think she even got a Playboy offer.
Damn.
Wait, what?
The little young woman that she hold on, I can't even remember her name. Oh, they talked about her forever. I think she killed her own kid or some shit.
I don't know, fam. I used to be in the Navy. I've done 24s, and I don't be walking into wrong people's places, and when I lived
Bro,
in the barracks. You feel me?
bro, I sometimes have to live that life. What the fuck? And
like
I don't walk in and start shooting motherfuckers and shit.
No, 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 yeah, no. I understand that, but I think this has to do not so much that it's pervasive in all cops. I mean, there has been a slow but steady increase in cop mentality, because you've been seeing from the late '70s onward, cops have been getting more and more aggressive in how they interact with the community. Hell, right now they get used equipment from the military. They have legitimate armored personnel carriers, legitimate M4s, legitimate everything from the military at discounts. So
mhm.
when you start instilling that mentality that everybody's against you, you walk in, think it's your house, you're probably going to shoot. I mean,
That's
it's
but
it's
okay,
all the cops.
okay,
I mean,
okay.
it's not just them. It's all the cops. Everybody,
This is
everybody.
the thing though. Like I don't care where I am. I get nervous when I go into freaking hotels and I know that it's the one that I rented because my key worked. I still get nervous.
Oh, wait, I'll talk about it
But
later.
but
She said she's got some sauce.
but
No, there's
I'm
something going on at my school right now, so.
but this art I'm looking at this article and we were talking about the whole door thing. This came out after she's already been sentenced and everything. And it's talking about that the door of his apartment was defective and even it doesn't close properly. So
Mhm.
the door wasn't open, but it wasn't latched.
Mhm.
So she came, and I remember hearing that they said that she came into the apartment thinking somebody was robbing her.
Mhm.
And he came around the corner, I guess from a hallway or something.
Hmm. Probably to
And
check who was coming in the door.
yeah, he heard, he was just like, what the fuck? And she supposedly shot him in self defense. But this is the thing, he didn't have a gun.
No, I said apparently, Guire, who is white, fatally shot 26-year-old Botham Jean, an accountant from the Caribbean island of Saint Lucia, who was watching television and eating a bowl of ice cream. So he was watching TV. So he didn't spook or anything. He was sat down and eating ice cream.
Oh, he wasn't shot sitting down. He did get up because even in the court thing, because I watched some of the court trial. They even said that he got up and he came towards the door,
Mm.
and that when she seen him when he came towards the door, they said that the accounts from the neighbors, they were sitting there saying that she was saying no
Oh
no
my
no
fucking gosh. Wait,
and
wait.
What?
Can you read the part where it says she wasn't paying attention because she was too caught up in a sexually explicit conversation she was having with her partner on the police force? Are you kidding me?
Wait, what?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Where is
yeah.
this?
Scroll
Her
down in the
boyfriend.
fucking articles.
Her
Scroll down in
boyfriend.
the.
Scroll down halfway.
Yeah, her
Which
boyfriend.
one?
But this
Aren't
is
you
the
not
thing.
supposed to date people on the like?
Her
If you're working in
boyfriend.
the same.
Yeah, her boyfriend is like one of the lieutenants or some shit like that. If I'm not mistaken. That's on the force with her. But this is the crazy shit. There was another article that came out where saying that she was known to get around within the department she was in.
Yeah.
There was another article that said that she was known to get around in the department she was, because they were talking about that they spoke to her ex-boyfriend who also works for a police department there, and said that she had attitude issues.
Damn.
And I'm just like, oh, it's amazing how this shit happened. Now, one thing that did bother me is the fact that instead of focusing on the facts and, you know, what her state of mind was and everything, it seemed like majority of the stuff that was displayed on TV, not these articles written, because these are like, you know, detailed stuff where they're putting in stuff after the fact. But the actual stuff that was actually displayed on TV, where they were sitting there talking about the case, it was more focused on him. Now, he's dead. He's dead. He's been shot. He's dead. He's dead.
He ain't coming back.
Yeah, let's just look at this. His mama here is sitting here grieving, and this is the thing. His mama's here from Arkansas. She's from Arkansas, and she's grieving. She's grieving. She's trying to find out what the hell's going on too. She's trying to get answers, and she's watching TV, and instead of hearing sad stories or people saying that their condolences, she's hearing them blast her son, talking about that, oh, well, you know, once upon a time he got caught with some drugs, or he used to hang out with gang members back when he was in college and stuff like that.
That
were
is
blasting
that is a
him.
disgrace. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't blast people that.
Well, it's just the fact, dude is dead, and you're sitting here,
Yeah,
and
it's so
instead
wrong to
of
do that.
caring about what happened to him that day that ended his life, we're sitting here talking about what happened 15 years ago.
Yeah, airing out all his dirty laundry.
Mm-hmm.
When he was a young teenage, because everybody's probably done some fucked up shit when they're a teenage.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's probably done some shit. Or been involved in some shit.
I mean, they could go ahead and talk around how she gets around and how she's supposed to be a police officer, but instead she got herself distracted and killed an innocent man. Like that in itself, like she's supposed to be a police officer. There are a lot of officers working hard hours and they've been through a lot of shit, but they don't.
Makes me wonder how
why wasn't she paying? She's supposed to remain vigilant. Like that's their thing. Like,
I mean, how did she even pass her psyche vow? Because if she's one of these type of people, you think it would have came up that she was some kind of narcissist or something.
Like, jeez.
You know? Or if she's going around just, you know, one moment she's got her clothes on, and then in the next moment she's in the back of a police car with her clothes off. Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. Let's not mischaracterize that one. That might be going a little too far.
Dude, if she's sleeping around, she's sleeping around.
She got distracted by a sexual conversation.
No. I'm not saying no, but he's saying he doing it on the job. There's a difference. Off duty is one thing, and then on duty is another. Because if it was on duty, yeah, they should have canned her ass the second they came out.
So, Da Vinci Wolf, this is actually done and over with. She's actually
serving 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna get out in 5. Yeah, she got sentenced to 10 years. Man, she's actually gonna get out in 5, is what they're saying.
This one got so popular because this is the one where the judge afterwards hugged her.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the judge or her mom? Or
no,
both.
Well, it was his brother and the judge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're sitting here talking about things, and I know that we're supposed to be talking about it from both sides of the fences, but look at this. Y'all look at this right here. This came from one of her patrol partners that's with her every day. One of her patrol partners every day. He testifies that the night of the shooting, she was sending him back and forth racist text messages. Now, I'm not saying that was a motivation for what she did. I'm not. I'm not saying that was motivation. But what the hell? How do people do this? Like, I'm not understanding this shit.
I think the issue, and I hate to say it, this is like a pattern we've noticed, is that the first instinct shouldn't be to pull the trigger. And there's a lot of videos surfacing on Facebook that you don't see on the news of like innocent people. Like people, if a victim if someone is suspected of doing something and they're apprehended, but they're not acting violent in any way, but the cop like just goes ham on them for whatever reason, like that's becoming more common nowadays. And this is outside of race, this is just in general, because it happens to a lot of people. And it's just like, why is the first instinct to like, you don't solve violence with violence? And it just makes no sense. Like, for example, Japan, a lot of officers don't actually carry guns. Japan actually has a low crime rate. Yeah, their rules for guns are like kind of a last resort. And even there, a lot of people aren't allowed to own guns. And if you want to own a gun, you have to go through a lot of rigorous testing, and you have to be repeatedly tested, and they need to know where the gun is, and you have to keep the ammo separate from the gun. So they don't really have a lot of like gun related crime in Japan because of how they regulate things. And it's just interesting to look at.
I think I'm gonna actually just start, if anytime I see anybody come towards me with a gun, I'm just gonna be like, my safe word's pineapple juice. My safe word is pineapple juice.
Well, no, the sad thing is that won't even save you. That probably won't even save you.
I know safe words don't save nobody anymore.
No, but as I was saying earlier, it's systemic. What I believe the problem is that cops in general, or most law enforcement, have been slowly changed their mindset that it's them against the world. That it's literally them always fighting criminals, always doing this, that's
what they do 12 hours a day every day. Is that
no, yeah, but it's more than that, because literally most cops, their tagline is to protect and serve, right?
Yeah.
But as you know, is slowly coming over time, they are not set to protect and serve. They are there to enforce the rules that they believe are true. And like they have stopped. Okay, I don't want to generalize, but a lot of police officers have stopped trying to protect and empathize with the community. They are starting to believe that anything but complete and utter obedience to the extreme is resisting arrest, or trying to hide evidence or aggression against them. And you know, it's like they're literally at war. Like anything can set them off at any point in time. And it's bad, because when you have somebody, people who are paid by the U.S. government, by our taxes, who are meant to protect and serve, that there's that given job, and to have them, you know, feel like that all the time, and then having the community not being able to trust them at the same time, it doesn't help, because there are people that do need help with a police call. And there are legitimate concerns that a lot of people sometimes don't even want to call the police, because it'll even make a small problem worse, and it might get the people that are trying to de-escalate matters to escalate them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see video after video of small problems, things that are coming in, and then police trying to arrest somebody. Them saying, "Hey, I can't breathe," and like you're resisting arrest and putting more force or kicking people in the head or doing this. I mean, time after time, there's been all these videos coming out, and it just seems like it's a systemic problem that needs to be addressed from both the community and from the police force. That there needs to be training, money sets, and I don't know, reconciliation between them. Because let's face it, when I see a cop, I'm scared.
I ain't gonna lie.
I
I
like I
mean,
don't I like
I work with alongside of them. I'm not scared of the ones I know, but even the ones I know, they'll sit there and tell you that when you go into a jurisdiction that you don't know what the mindset of those, because everybody has their own type of training. It scares you. Where like here, everybody goes to the same police academy. Everybody here goes to the same fire academy. Every department in this whole state is trained under the same curriculum, other than the state police. The state police has their own training facility, but that's because they all look like they're hyped up on steroids. But you go to all these other states, you don't know if they're being trained in house or if they're being trained by a centralized curriculum that has a strict training on how to diffuse situations or stuff like that. But you're right. What happens in one state carries over to all these other states. And so, next you know, we have a lot of paranoid police officers. Now, I'm not saying they don't have a reason to be paranoid because there's some real hateful shit going on out there.
Oh no, yeah, there is.
But at the same time, it goes back to while you're doing the job, you still have to have empathy for the people that you're dealing with and encountering with that. Mozzie, are you beating somebody up over there? Is that you?
What? I think it's the mic sensitivity.
Somebody
The
keeps
mic.
hitting the mic.
Yeah.
I thought maybe she was, co-cocking somebody over there. She got, bow, sit down.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is not new. Okay. All this stuff that's being that you see on Twitter or Instagram or here on the news. This stuff isn't new. The only reason why more and more people are hearing about it is because technology. Okay. The only reason why you hear about, the guy that got arrested for eating a sandwich on the platform of the BART system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Boy,
The
that's
same
yeah.
person that got slammed on the floor was saying he couldn't breathe. Okay.
Yeah, that was
Same
horrible.
guy that got choked out on the ground. Okay.
Yeah.
The woman that they went into her house and they shot her because of her neighbor said that they thought that somebody was in her house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All this
Yeah.
stuff is not new. The
Yeah.
problem amongst many is lack of training, society being scared of the police. Okay. Yes, it is the us versus them mentality as well. But at the same time, the whole protect and serve thing, right? The way that a lot of police are now, and I'm talking based on being born and raised in New York City, there is no, ask questions first, shoot later anymore. And it's sad because the way that it should be is go assess the situation and then, respond in kind. But I digress.
Yeah.
I think another thing that needs to be addressed in education is civics, learning your rights, because a lot of things that come up could be just by said, hey, you don't have that right, you cannot ask me to do this or you can't ask me to do that. Like how many times have police gotten violent over being recorded, even though there have been two Supreme Court decisions that allow that the public can record a public officer, or having your Fifth Amendment rights. So you say that you want to remain silent right? Or your Fourth Amendment rights to the illegal search and seizure. Like, they can't just ask. Stop and frisk was a thing. The people need to learn their rights to be able to say, hey, this is not correct, and we need to have the other side police officers too, that they need to understand that not everybody can get away with lying to the people that they're trying to serve.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we're gonna change suspects, but at the end, oh my
Wow.
wow, wow.
Little Freudian slip there.
That's that freaking. That's that GTA 5 RP coming out of me and everything. So we're gonna change suspects.
Wow.
I'm gonna let this one go and hook this one up.
But do you guys want to hear what's happening at my university right now?
Yes,
go
please.
ahead.
Okay, so we have an organization called the Video Game Club, right?
Okay.
Vice president, I'm black. Our president is black, right? Okay, so we have been running into issues with some dude trying to impersonate our organization and trying to basically take over what we do. And the dean originally said that he couldn't do it because he's not under an actual organization. And if he wants to do something, he can come to us. He never did. So we've been constantly clashing heads. And so now the dean is actually backing him up, even though everything he's doing is wrong. She's going back on her words now, right? And everything. And so she's saying that we're not actually the video game organization, even though we've been established for at least 10 years.
Y'all have charter paperwork and everything, don't you?
Huh?
Do y'all have charter paperwork and stuff that establish y'all?
Yeah.
Okay, then
Yeah.
she's
the dean of the university.
So
that's the
but
issue.
but
Her influence. Okay, no one wants to. The people we're going to right now don't want to help us because what she says goes. But the issue is that she's trying to take us down, and apparently one of our supervisors said that it could actually be an issue of race because apparently she has a past history of white supremacism. Is that the word?
Wait,
how did she become dean? Because
that's exactly what I want to ask.
We're trying to figure out what to do, and we think that might be why student organizations are starting to get less support, because what she doesn't have as much control over is the MSC. It's the Marshall Student Centers, where all the students and organizations hold their events. We have a lot of multicultural orgs because we have a lot of different students. In fact, I think we outnumber the white students on campus, let's be honest. But I was talking to Adrisa about it, he's president, and we were that's probably why everything's starting to go to shit, because she's trying to take over, and apparently she only helps the white student orgs. And so we're trying to figure out how to counteract. And
is there not a counselor or something that
no,
I mean, she's
no
not
one wants to help us because she's the dean.
Okay.
What does she have on them? Because I thought that deans
their jobs.
Yeah, pretty much.
The people working at the university are all under her because she's the dean of the university.
But
so,
can she fire somebody herself by herself?
She could probably pull some strings. I honestly, I don't know, but they're scared to
I thought colleges they can't, the dean has a recommendation, but I thought they have a financial board or something like that where they have to vote people.
Oh.
Just like quorum courts and stuff when they elect people.
It doesn't stop people from being scared because she's the dean.
I would. Okay. Do you guys have funds available, some money available for the?
We use our funds because we had our big event for the semester. I was talking to my friend and she's like, you should totally talk to the other student orgs and get together. And I was like, I'm about to take it to a freaking news station because this is fucking.
No. What I want to recommend is write all your grievances with evidence and everything like that. And then,
that's what we're doing. We already have.
I was gonna say take it to a lawyer and have them look it over. If they give the green light, I would say print that shit on all the paper and plaster it all over the school. Shame them into doing it.
But you're gonna want to make sure you check your bylaws too, because there could be clauses that could actually hurt you as a student and everything if you
Yeah.
decide to go, in unconventional way, I guess you say, of trying to do something. You want to check that, because it's like I've learned in my lifetime that everybody might get together and say it's not right and that they want to do something to change and make a difference, but when push come to shove, they all scatter like a bunch of roaches. In the end,
No,
it's
but
gonna. I mean, I'm just being.
Yeah.
I'm just being upfront, honest about it. It's like when the shit hits the fan, people all of a sudden don't know who you are and they disappear.
Yeah.
And then you're left holding it, and if you're the person that's gonna be the one going to like newspaper or stuff like that, then all of a sudden, who is it on? Oh, it's on you.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
no, that's what I was saying. Have a lawyer look it over, because if a lawyer gives the green light, and if you're backed up by facts, they can't do you for defamation. They can't do you for libel. I mean, do your due diligence. That's what say. If you have a little bit of cash, $100, $200, 1 hour of a lawyer's time can save you a lot. And if that goes on, hey, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's your local
That's
newspaper.
kind of what I wanted to go through first, to like help, like before actually like tackling the university itself. There's people that just apparently are very afraid of her. So
Is there a general counsel
uh
or a university council? Because theoretically, the general counsel handles all legal affairs, legal conflicts between administrators, faculty, staff, and students. So it's kind of like your board of trustees or board of directors.
Yeah.
That's where you would file your grievance. Like legally, you would have to file your grievance through them. If that campus or that university has, which I'm assuming they do.
Most of them, or at least all of them, are supposed to have.
Yeah,
it's a
that's the
huge
avenue I would
university.
take. Yeah, that's the avenue I would take.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just sucks because like we've been getting bigger. We have more sponsors. We're sponsored by Riot Games. We're sponsored by Microsoft, I think, because they come to our events. Like, it's just like, why are you trying to like take us down when we're actually increasing and we have huge events? Like, it makes no sense. Like,
I mean, people
because people can be petty. People can
actually, I know they're selfish because they're starting to get into esports. We had a convention actually about esports, and we had a lot of people come out, including like some Blizzard people and stuff. And I guess they want to do it without us, but like, if you want to get into esports, wouldn't you like collaborate with the org that's been doing video games for like 10 years? I don't.
It's the thing is that they see the money signs. And
that's what sucks.
I mean, let's face it. When a school sees, hey, we're gonna make a bigger football stadium. We're gonna charge due. We're gonna start selling beer. We're gonna make a team for this, team for that. They just see sponsors, money. Hey, let's do this, and that's all they care about. I mean.
All right, so
speaking of segues,
wait. Gigi said something about body cams. A lot of the times nowadays, a cop can just say that their body cam wasn't on, and it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot. They're like, oh, the body cam was off the police officer at the time, or oh, it was off.
Well, and even more than that, even if it was on, sometimes requesting the video is very, it takes a lot of time. And then they could deny the request for say, oh, there's personal information there that they can't share or whatever, and they can just do that, or they can have people covering from them, or they can just say, hey, it broke, it didn't work. There's been many workarounds, and there's also said, hey, it didn't turn on, or the battery died.
Have your phone set all times.
And also apart from that, even like who actually has those? I mean, let's face it, a lot of our public institutions do not have enough money to supply enough money to supply body cams for that, and then the training, and then the regulations, and the upkeep. Because let's face it, trying to keep hundreds of hours of video in a server costs money, and sometimes counties don't have that, states don't have that. So these are the new problems of the 21st century.
Woo! technology and advancement. Woo.
All right.
So speaking about technology, we can probably go on to our next segue.
Okay, so our next one that we're gonna talk about. This is weird. I was sitting here talking to somebody else.
How
about
weird.
It's weird. It's actually one that me and you talked about previously, and then I was talking to somebody today because I went through a whole bunch of freaking articles, like crazy articles, and I was just like, "What the fuck is this shit? Are you for real?" So, and I didn't know that this was possible. This is one thing I did not know that.
GG.
Where?
Gigi
Weird.
said
I'm
he's
scared.
scared.
Gigi's always scared.
Yeah, poor GG.
I swear I think I scare him sometimes. Gigi's always scared. Where is this?
I scare him too.
So, oh no, I can't show that.
Oops. all right, Gigi. You're not always scared.
I am not. Heck you. Okay, so this right here, I posted it already. I ain't studying Gigi. No, you just pissed me. Oh, Tito. Oh, okay. About to say, only thing I do is just make him sit here and apologize to everybody in chat.
Nah, I tease him a little
China
bit too
can
much.
do that.
So
Whatever they want.
China apparently is banning minors from playing video games after 10 p.m.
Good.
But this but this is the thing. This includes anybody. He's saying that because he's like, I'm tired of them winning all the goddamn games.
Nah. I say that because, and I quote, "Fuck them kids."
Oh.
I said it.
Oh.
And I think it limits their playtime to what, 1 hour per day or something like that.
90 minutes.
Even outside of those,
90 minutes.
yeah.
On weekdays. On weekdays.
90 minutes on weekdays, 3 hours on weekends and holidays.
Yeah, 90 minutes.
Though I do have to say, they probably do have a reason to, and it is varied, and it has a lot to do with like 2 or 3 different things. One, the availability of internet cafes. For one, okay, what they said, from 75 cents to $1, you can get a computer that is damn near top of the line, that has every single game available to you. And it has every single game available to you. And apart from that, you can stay there. They have food, they have showers, they have everything there. There has been so many stories of a guy that played 3 days straight, and died. There was a story of a couple who actually let their kid die because they were playing so much in internet cafes. There's another story of a kid playing for 24 hours, and he had a heart attack in there. I mean, and apart from that, these are free to play games, so that they don't have to play much. And
wait. I'm gonna go ahead and say that it probably wasn't because he was playing video games. It's probably because he probably had pre-existing health issues. Because I streamed for like 24 hours straight once, and I was perfectly fine.
I
was perfectly fine.
But you see how it comes across, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Communist Party in China really isn't into things that aren't in their view of society.
Yeah.
So when you have that coming up, it don't look very good. Also, everybody has mobile games. They are literally the largest, company that is no, not the large company, but the largest market that is expanding in phone games. When what was it? When Blizzard say, "Hey, the new Blizzard game is coming on phone. Does anybody have phones?" They're not talking to the U.S. They don't give a crap about the U.S. They're China. China is one of their largest markets that they're making money hand over fist. So when they say, "Hey, let's knock the kids off," yeah. But they don't do it for just that. They still have the 2-child policy even now. China isn't known for their best policies.
Yeah, but China will go ahead and cut the internet off real quick.
Oh,
They
yeah.
did it. They did one time. They banned
Mm.
internet from over there. They did it one time.
Yeah, sure did.
They don't give a fuck, even if they're winning shit, man.
Mhm.
Well,
They have
well,
It'll be
the
over 18.
Well, this is so the ban for the games is that this is for anybody under the age of 18. So even if you're 17, you out of there. China has literally made a restriction. Like, this isn't something that they're thinking about doing. This is something that they have done. This was done just last week. They have banned minors from playing video games after 10 p.m. They're calling it them trying to get ahead of this internet gaming disorder, which they're saying is a real thing. It has been added to the World Health Organization International Classification of Diseases
the DCMI
last year.
5
Yeah,
or whatever.
it got added last year, and
To be fair, I think almost any addiction can be classified as a disorder because it's not normal.
well,
Like,
an addiction
yeah.
an addiction period in its own terms is a disorder, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I think that they're going too far, and I think it's an excuse for them to try to say that they're blaming video games for for issues that maybe they are having themselves. So, I'm looking at it like this: like, why is every time something goes wrong, either it's, well, they classify it as, well, it's an American issue, they brought it here, or they say
Maybe
that,
they should stop stressing their children out. Maybe that's why they turn to video games.
Yeah.
No offense,
So,
China.
but I mean,
Most Asian countries do that, isn't
But-
it?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I know-
yeah. And the addiction is very common in all countries, but especially Korea too.
But another thing that China has done is that they're prohibiting gamers between the ages of 8 and 15 from spending more than $29 a month on video games. So not only are we telling you what you can do with your life, or telling parents how to raise their kids or how to parent their kids, but we're telling them what to do with their money too.
It's goddamn loot boxes.
Oh,
Goddamn loot
No,
boxes.
Wait, they said no
Boy, bro.
This isn't even loot boxes. Loot boxes are more a problem in West.
I don't even think you can buy a fucking Apex Battle Pass for that amount.
Yeah,
China is very prominent. They like play a lot of like Overwatch, League. Like China
No.
just won League Worlds,
No,
by
yeah.
the way.
No,
And like,
But the problem was, like, most of those games are free to play, as I was saying. And the free to play games have, hey, buy this gem, you can get 2 times the more XP, or you can get more gold, or hey, you can use this to upgrade your weapon. It's all these minor little things that cost little bit by little bit that add up to a bunch of things. And the problem is it's systemic in China. In China is different. They can pay everything by phone. You can be a kid, buy a $3 phone off the street, go install WeChat, and go to the gas station and put money on there from cash to your phone, and then you can buy whatever the hell you want on your phone. It's different. They don't have to have a credit card like here in the West. They don't have to go buy, like a prepaid card. They can just go and say, hey, put this money on my phone and I'm going to go spend it. So, that's the whole thing over there. That one.
Did you guys hear about ICW UK, the wrestling company, closing? No.
I don't follow
Hold on.
sports.
What's this? Where?
ICW, it says ICW UK, the wrestling company, closing. I hadn't
Is
heard
it-
about that.
Is in like WWE wrestling or
No,
more
ICW.
like
No, ICW.
Okay.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be something similar to what, ECW, one of their standoff brands or something. Insane Champion. Oh, Insane Champion. I have heard about them though. TT as it TV. Thank you for that follow. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you. Welcome to the talk show.
The thing is, man.
Yeah,
This is the People's Republic of China, yo. They can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? They don't have a constitution. They don't have XYZ, people's rights, all this stuff. For us, this seems weird. For them,
It's normal.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I mean, China's the first. China and Japan are always the first place to sit here and try to put restrictions on things if they think that it would make their culture higher up or in better standards that will make them better. Like
China, yes. Japan, not so much. Japan will just shame you into doing things.
Well, shaming and saying that we're gonna lock you up if you do something wrong is almost the same thing.
Mm.
I mean, it's still a form of punishment that's gonna happen to you if you don't do what we say.
Yeah, but it's a little different in China. In China, to play a game, you actually have to put in your ID. Like you have an ID number that you have to
What?
put. No, yeah, no.
Is it like Korea? Cal
you have an
said to
ID
play
number.
League, he had to enter like his like. I guess
Yeah.
it's kind of equivalent
So-
to a
so-
social
Whoa,
security number.
No, yeah,
whoa,
uh-huh.
whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
So you
Hold
have
up,
you
hold up,
have
hold up,
you,
hold
you
up.
have your government issued ID.
Come
Go
on.
on.
Okay,
Come on.
so your government issue ID has a number that is attached to you. That is basically your identity, and it's used everywhere online. If you want to start an account on, like, let's say the Chinese Facebook, whatever, right? You have to put in your number, and that is attached to your real name, address. Everything that they know about you is attached to that. So when they say, hey, when 17-year-olds will not be able to play for more than an hour and a half, they legitimately say, hey, when you have any number attached to this account that is below the age of 18, after 90 minutes, you will shut the game down.
So how do they? Okay, so how do they actually keep up with that? Because I mean, 15-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds, they don't go get driver's license. Hell,
No,
they
but
don't.
they
They
have-
don't.
they-
They don't
they have
even
a
know their
government-
own social security number at that
They
age.
have a government issued ID. The government is everything.
A
over there.
12-year-old has a government issue ID in China.
Oh, hell yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, with the sole exception of a few people who are born outside of the one or two child policy, which are called ghost children, everybody is literally has a name and an ID.
You are
attached.
documented from outside the womb. You are documented with an ID number, and when you go to said internet cafes, you have to put in said ID number and your name.
But how does that work with console games and stuff? Because
Same thing. Same thing.
Yeah. Okay. You ever been to a PC lounge here
I
in
mean,
the States?
I get that, but those are connected via internet. But if you have a console, it's optional to connect it to an internet. You don't have to have internet to play a Xbox.
Yeah, but remember what
It
we were
restricts
saying-
you on the games, yes, but you don't have to have.
But
So-
what we're saying, like, the majority of people don't own consoles. They go to internet cafes. Most people don't own a PC or a gaming console. Most people just own a phone, and a phone is usually connected to the internet.
But
And
China
also-
and them are number one. Most of the parts we get for our PCs and stuff come from them.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the people can afford them, or the people that actually want them. I mean, U.S. is one of the biggest the biggest buyers. U.S., Japan, and Korea are usually the biggest buyers of consoles, actual consoles. Most of the rest of the world, they don't give a fuck about consoles because they literally have internet cafes where you can go spend $2 an hour or less and play any game
But-
you want at the highest resolution you want.
But I'm still not. I still feel like I'm not getting the answer though. Like there are 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds. I'm not saying that everybody has one, but I know that there's at least one person over there that has a console that's not connected to an internet. So how are they enforcing this? How are they restricting this?
From the before, probably not. From before, if you have a disc, probably not. But if you have any disc from today onward, any game that is approved by the China's Communist Party will have to have certain restrictions on it. Like for the next game that comes out for them, they're gonna have to say, hey, we're gonna tailor this game to China. So when Doom Eternal comes out, if it wants to go to China, it's going to have to do Chinese, restrictions. They're going to have to censor certain things. They're going to have to change certain things and get approved by the government to be able to be sold in China.
But that still doesn't answer the question. I'm saying, how are they able to monitor and enforce a console It doesn't matter the game. I'm talking about the console itself. If I hit that power button
Mm-hmm.
and I put a disc in that thing, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to play. It's going to
Yes.
play.
Yes.
Regardless if I have it connected to the internet or not. It's going to play.
If it's connected to the internet, it might not.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. There's people over there that have gaming devices that are not connected to the internet. So how are they going to enforce that? How is that? Even if they have it set to where you have to put in a number, who's going to be able to log that down if that console has no way of sending that information out?
I see what you're saying. So it's like if you're at home and you have an Xbox and you pop in Halo, right?
Yeah.
You're playing campaign, story mode, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. There's no way of regulating how much time you've been on if that data is not being sent to servers.
Yeah.
I get that. My counterpoint is there's almost nobody that's going to apply to. There's very few consoles being sold in China.
I mean, true. I mean, I don't know the rules out there. I can't for sure say that in China you are not allowed to have a console that's not connected to the internet. What I do know is that this particular topic, this article, is um is glued
Holy shit
to games and like PC games and games that you have to go to a PC cafe to play. All your AAA games nowadays are multiplayer. Call of Duty, Overwatch, League of Legends, Warcraft, Apex, because ain't nobody playing Apex offline. Ain't nobody playing Overwatch offline.
You can't play
That's
Apex.
my point.
Yeah.
But that's what I think they're trying to mitigate is that these top tier games that you need an internet connection to have, that's where I think the focus is. I'm not
the ones that require you to be on for long periods of time.
Exactly.
Okay, and I have a little bit of more thing. So apparently, China actually banned consoles from the year 2000.
Wow.
What?
Concerns about video game addiction and negative influence on the youth came ahead in June 2000. The State Council passed a bill crafted by 7 ministries specifically aimed at video games. The bill established provisions on video game content and regulations on operation of internet cafes and arcades. Most significant facet of this bill was a ban on production, import, and sale of consoles and arcade machines.
When did they do that?
They actually lifted it.
Yeah.
In 2015.
Yeah.
Lifted
July 25th, 2015.
Okay.
But it also says that they don't pay for software, so they're not interested in consoles in China.
And again, it says out of the total revenue of sales, there was only about 1 billion in China after they lifted the ban. So we're talking minuscule amounts of consoles. So it's you're saying that it probably can happen, that there are ways around this, but they're mostly targeting online games with these.
Yeah, that's all they play there. China they play a lot of PC cafes and stuff. They're not interested in consoles.
No, because
which is probably why they lifted the ban, because there's no point. It didn't change anything.
Well, they still have restrictions though, because it's sitting here saying that.
Well, China has a lot of restrictions.
It says that they, in order, so even those proven major hurdles to console makers, which had to enter into contracts to build a new manufacturing facility. Okay, so when they lifted the restriction on console, gaming manufacturing places had to get a contract with China and get an approved area where they could build a manufacturing facility that was close there for retail. And it says that every console that is sold, it has to be individually inspected.
Damn.
Okay,
This also says that a spokesman for the office said that under the new regulations, sexually explicit, bloody, or violent games, as well as those that feature gambling, would also be banned under the new regulation.
No, yeah.
Oh,
Every
okay.
other video game that ever came out from
no.
Max Payne, all of them.
If you want to see something that is very interesting, you can see PUBG Mobile. The PUBG on phone is owned by Tencent, and they actually had to change the game and the game mechanics in China because they could no longer publish it in China as it was, because they had to follow different regulations. And there was a whole bunch of, they had to remove blood, they had to remove the purpose of the game. Like literally, you can't, battle royale is against the communist ideals. So you can't have one coming over victory over everybody. They literally had to change game modes because it wasn't appropriate for the Chinese people.
Let's be real though. There's only three main games that I've ever heard of China and them playing. Overwatch, League of Legends, and what's that other one that's almost like League of Legends?
Dota 2.
Dota.
Yeah, those are the only three. Those are the only three that I've heard that they actually play.
And you want to know why? The majority of them are free to play.
Well, but not just because it's free, but they don't they're violent, but they're not. They're like cartoon violent. Money. Well, no. Well, it's cartoon violence, and I say cartoon violence as in like my character can hit you, but it doesn't show anything other than you see a number pop up
and some sparks.
You might see sparks,
but you get hit markers like Overwatch. You get hit markers.
Yeah. But like in games that I hate to say it because it's gonna make it sound kind of biggest, but games that are over here in America, there's blood. If you shoot somebody, shit is oozing out.
We like to push the envelope.
Yeah, I mean, I told y'all I'm petitioning for a goddamn wood chipper in Dead by Daylight. I mean, I want to see somebody get fucking charaded.
It wasn't just that. You have to remember good old PS2 days, Manhunt 1, 2, and 3.
I never played it.
Oh, dude, those were. Ooh. Oh Lord, those were interesting at that age.
What's the? I mean, hell, I remember back in the day when Mortal Kombat almost got banned.
Oh yeah,
Remember Mortal Kombat 2 came out and they had the fatalities where people was getting their heads ate off and everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
The bestiality.
Mm-hmm.
When they were transforming into dragons and shit, and they
which that name now means something completely related.
No, it still meant that the same. That we were just very innocent.
Well, not everything was based off of sex and crazy shit back then. Back then, you could sit here and say a word, and you didn't have to worry about somebody taking it into a nasty or.
So I was like, yeah, whatever.
No, looking at a video on censorship of League.
Oh no, yeah, like I said,
they censored. I know they censored a lot of things, and I was laughing because he was using Evelyn as an example. I don't know if you know Evelyn, but since they reworked her, her concept is that she's actually completely naked, just covered in shadows. So you can't see that she's naked in the game, but just know that she's supposed to be naked. She's covered in shadows. And in Korea, they decided to give her some clothes.
Wow.
China also likes to censor the slash arts, and I think they censor the blood out.
Is Evelyn the young little thing with the bear?
No, that's Annie. Oh God, no. Annie is the one with the bear. Evelyn is the one with the you probably seen people cosplay her because she was in KDA. She's the one with the tendrils, like the thing sticking out.
Only thing I see people with is usually
she's called the widow.
I've only seen people with the fox, the one with the tails.
Yeah, that's Ari.
Yeah, everybody does her. Everybody does her. You need
it.
What? Hold on.
There's a skin available for her in Korea that's not available anywhere else, and it upsets me.
Why?
So jump on the server real quick.
It's a reference to Girls' Generation, which is a K-pop group, and I want the actual skin.
Okay, I must have spelled it wrong.
Okay.
Is Evelyn it's Evelyinn. That Evelyn?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
it's her. If you look at her concept art, because they reworked her, she used to
Oh my
actually
god,
wear stuff, and
there's
then when they
like
reworked her, she's like, yeah, she's kind of
Um,
not wearing clothes.
so speaking
which
a bit
one?
again about
I'll
getting
send it to you.
a having a Chinese ID. There was a time where I actually got a Chinese ID number and launched an account for a game in China.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually I bought an ID offline off somebody
Oh
What
my
the
god.
fuck?
Why would you?
because
Oh.
it was a free to play game at the time, and they were developing that in China. So I wanted to see how the development cycle was going for them. Because they were a couple seasons ahead and a couple patches ahead. So I decided, hey, I'm going to go look. But you had to have a Chinese ID to be able to log in and make an account. So
Yeah.
I literally had somebody who knew somebody to sell me their use of that ID for that game. And I paid like a couple bucks. It wasn't that much. And I got it, and it still messed with me. Like, you legitimately have to put in your own ID, your own identifier to do that. That was scary.
Mm-mm. I ain't buying no foreign IDs or nothing.
They did not put me on no roster and everything. Talking about, oh
Nope.
yeah, you being drafted
Mm-mm.
over here and everything.
Mm-mm. Nope. Not it.
There's just no way. You ain't gonna sit here and get me.
Ooh,
Ooh.
You
that
gonna have
looks
me jammed
nice.
up. You gonna have me jammed
She's
up.
alright.
She's I.
She's alright.
I wouldn't kick her out of bed. Oh
Mm-mm.
no. Maybe.
Obviously, you haven't seen
Maybe.
Misfortune. Let me link you Misfortune real quick, cause she's.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. We're not gonna be. Don't be up here. Don't be up here. No, we're not gonna be up here
Here,
looking
I'm
at
giving
legal
you her
issues
page so you can see all of her
We're-
skin. Oh, hoo-hoo. I love Misfortune so much. Her body's perfect.
This
porn.
adaptive. Feel me?
Ooh wee.
She's known as she
Damn.
has the biggest yes in the game.
The biggest
She
way.
has a great personality.
Biggest yes.
She has a great personality.
Oh.
Mhm,
My
that's what we're calling
theory
it now.
is that they grew back bigger. because
Oh
Plank
yeah,
shot
I've
her in the
seen
chest.
her. Wow, damn, she
Damn.
has big
Mm-hmm.
She's great.
personality.
She's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has big personality.
And all those flash arts were updated because they reworked her, so they look so good.
Big personality.
That Jessica Rabbit one. Whew.
Yeah.
Big personality. Yep, exactly. Big personality, y'all. Alrighty.
All right.
We're gonna sit here and take a break, and we'll be back here in a minute. Everybody go get them something to drink or whatever they need to do. I'm going to get something to drink now. And we'll be back to talk about our last and final topic. And then we will take a 30-minute recess and be back with some Overwatch After Dark. So, appreciate everybody being here for the HawkPack Nation Talk Show episode 2. We've had some good discussions and stuff like that. But we will be back. Just give us about 60 seconds, and here's a message from our sponsors.
Do you know the cost of those cans compared to like regular ones?
Yeah, why?
They're like 3 times the price.
And
I mean, it just don't seem right to me.
I'm waiting for the drop. Like, what is okay?
I don't know, just personal preference. Like, I would rather spend $1 to get, you know, a 2 liter than like $1.50 to get one of those small cans.
I
Okay.
mean, it's
Is that the
7.5.
size?
It's 7.5 fluid ounces. I mean, maybe I don't want a big can. Maybe I just want a half a can.
You're right.
You know, America. I'm picky like that.
Yeah,
I fought so that way I could have a 7.5 fluid ounce can. It's cool.
All right, we're back. Thank you. Welcome everybody. Welcome back.
We pay bills, y'all.
Oh Lord. All right, we're back, and we're gonna talk on our last topic that will carry us out into the final 30 minutes of the of our 2-hour episode. So the last topic, which let's just like, I gotta get rid of all this League of Legend porn shit that somebody sent to me.
Damn.
More?
Damn.
No, I did not say I want more. I said I gotta get rid of this shit before we can talk about real stuff.
I feel like their champion's thick.
Oh my
It's not all of them are thick. I think there's one female
We're
champion.
not gonna talk about League of Legends right now.
There's
We're
only
not
one
gonna-
flat-chested champion.
Oh my
That's
god. Let's not talk about that right now.
Who, Lux?
Jesus
No,
Christ.
Lux
She's
is
talking about the
Jinx.
goddamn
Lux is more
baby.
movement than Jinx. Lux is
That's
like
right.
a solid B. Jinx is
Yeah.
just straight up like A, like not even.
Yo,
Oh my
yo.
god.
Straight A.
Let's no. No. God.
Be like that sometimes,
You should
man.
have a
No.
League of Legends chat.
No.
Nothing but NSFW.
League has the best of it though.
Okay,
Because it's a
anyways.
big they have the best.
Anyways. God.
All right, on to the next topic.
Okay. Anyways, we were gonna talk about recently. There has, I'm gonna mute this. Oh, it's already muted. Thank God. So recently, there has been a lot of mass school shootings, and school threats. And yeah, I know we had talked about it earlier about, it's not just in California, but it seemed like a lot of it is happening in the state of California. There's a lot of it happening in the state of California. I don't know why,
It's
but
not California, it's Florida.
I mean, it's everywhere.
And that's not
It's
to take
everywhere.
away from El Paso at all.
No. Now,
it's
now
just-
for anybody who has a soft stomach when it comes to this stuff, this disclaimer that we are talking about the shootings and it does involve kids,
Minors.
yeah, minors and stuff like that. So if it's something that you don't want to hear the discussion on, I advise you at this time to mute it, or you could think about me hooking some. Never mind. I don't know.
Wow. Save that for later.
Hey, I gotta get my hook game on, man. I gotta practice.
Hey, the range of the hook.
All
Okay,
in the
range.
wrist.
All in the wrist. So we know who you're playing
Yes.
in 30 minutes.
Yes, we know who I'm playing in 30 minutes.
That hook is still way too long.
I don't. I mean, hey, it's supposed to be.
League says it's not long enough.
I mean, I'm just saying it could be longer.
Oh Lord.
It just depends. It just depends on how far I got to go out for that mercy.
I'll tell you, before we get into it, there's something very satisfying when you throw that hook out and you hear,
Yeah,
I got him. I got some.
Hey, boy, it's just like going fishing. I get excited like a motherfucker. When I sit there and I'll be bobbing and weaving because they be running and everything, I'll be like, boy, I got you. You coming to piggy. You coming to piggy. And then all of a sudden, hey, you be like, oh, it's like that meme with Shaq and the damn cat. You know what I'm talking about? When Shaq be going,
that little butt wiggle, yeah. I seen it.
It's like that meme with Shaq and the cat. Boy, hey. And I'll be like, ooh. I'll be doing that. I'll be lining them up and everything. I'll be jumping around. You know, I have my little pistol and everything. I'll be like, hip shot. Up in there. Move out the way, Reinhardt. You in my way. I'm trying to get to him. I see she pocketing you.
There's something special about if you catch a Mercy or a Farah out the air,
dude.
And you hear that, you're like, game time.
Hey.
But before we get too far into the weed, we have this last one we have to get
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Gigi, yeah. Yo, I saw an article the other day and I got kind of scared because they caught some child, I guess, with a gun in school and it said Pasco County. And I just think of my brother because my brother goes to school at Pasco. We live in Pasco County. So I'm like, okay. And like, I don't know, that shit's just... Apparently he just brought the gun to show to people. I don't even know. But the fact that like that even happened, I don't...
Yeah, no.
So
my brother annoys the hell out of me, but I don't want
anything to happen. Yeah.
I don't want anything
we
to happen.
have a school in our district, so anytime the school goes on lockdown or anything, I get messages and alerts too, telling me what's going on at the school. And you know, when that thing go off, you're sitting here, you're just like, what the fuck is going on now?
Bro, that shit is serious, man.
I mean, for real, you're like, what the fuck is going on now? And it makes you.
Well, it happened to me. That's the fucked up part. Like my ex-wife, she worked at a naval hospital.
Shit!
And they had the active shooter in VA. Active shooter, and I got a text message. She's inside the hospital.
It wasn't the black dude, was it? Because that's the last one I heard about. The black
one in
dude.
Portsmouth.
I don't know if it's that.
I don't know.
I remember that.
There was one where it was a black guy who had just recently been terminated, and he went back with a shotgun or something, and he was trying to get to the floor that he worked on, but he got encountered by MPs and stuff, and so he just went on a shooting spree right there where he was because he felt.
I think that was in Florida, because I remember there was one in Florida.
Okay.
But the one that I was at, well, by proxy, was in Portsmouth, Virginia, and this was, I want to say this was like around 2015. Yeah, 2015. She was inside the hospital. I'm at home. I just got home from work. She's texting me.
Deputy James.
Texting me, hey, there's an active shooter in the hospital. I'm like, where are you at? She's like, I'm in the hospital. My heart dropped.
Dude,
I was ready to come down there with like the SWAT team, rubber ducks, freaking.
Dude, I've been on a school campus when they had an active shooter alert go out. I've been on the school campus. It was, of course, I'm not gonna say, but it was I was there for I was young then at the time, but I was there for a lock-in, and I was actually walking to the walk-in, so I'm still on the outside campus ground trying to get to the building, and all of a sudden there's sirens going everywhere, and we were walking with some actual people there, and they said that, oh crap, I just got a message from one of the people that's there at the building who said that there's a ex-boyfriend of one of the girls there who's walking around with a gun.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, I'm up here like I literally started thinking, like, what is closer? Is it closer for me to just start walking back home to get the fuck away from this place? Or is it closer for me just to get to a building and bunker down? Well, the only building that was open was the place we were going to where the lock-in was, because it was late at night. And so I'm just sitting here like,
I'm getting out of
fuck.
Dodge. I'm getting out of Dodge.
I mean, I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do. So literally, me and the 3 other people we were with, we're sitting here walking around saying, "Don't step on nothing. Just be quiet. If
Oh,
you,
wow.
If you see something, all of a sudden look at us. Just start running. And if we see one person run, we all gonna run."
Serpentine.
Bothering me.
Hey.
I'm doing this.
Hey, then you know, out the corner of my eye, I see that motherfucker go. Ooh. all right.
I know that happened once. I was at the psychology building just doing homework, and I get this alert from my phone because I signed up for the police reports and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, there's an armed person on campus. They were at the ISA, which is literally it's a good like 5-ish minute walk from where I was. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay in the building.
I'm gonna be right here.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'll wait. I'll wait until things are okay.
Mm-hmm. You should get
Oh,
I mean,
and there was
that's
a
just-
while ago where the Seminole Heights murders were going on. There was someone murdering people at Seminole Heights, which isn't too far from my university. And so, you know, I still went out at night. I'm not gonna lie, but in hindsight, probably not the best idea. But I'd go out for dinner at like 3 a.m. even though people were being
She
murdered
said-
like 10
Yeah,
minutes away.
yeah.
Okay, YOLO, I'm getting my IHOP.
Yeah, I mean, bitch.
Oh,
I want-
excuse me, Waffle House.
Yeah, I want my ham and cheese omelet. Fuck this murder shit. This motherfucker go. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die on a full stomach.
Honestly,
That's what you see. See, that's exactly what she said. She said, "If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die on a full stomach. I am not dying hungry."
Yeah.
And my stomach sounded like the goddamn tsunami out of the fucking north.
Mm-hmm.
This shit is
I gotta
not
go to the
happening.
afterlife. I'm going full. You feel
Yeah.
me? Okay.
And
Yeah, that's shit. Yeah.
I kind of want to say something about Gigi's comment.
What?
Oh,
What?
And,
my school's not doing their best to stop.
And I want to say that the schools are doing more than most because whether we like to say or not, most schools right now have 3 or 4 off-duty police officers fully armed inside the schools.
Not all of them.
So,
Not
not
all
all of them, but the majority of them do.
Yeah.
So they are compared to most public establishments, they are ahead of the curve coming against an armed attack.
I mean, honestly, if we're gonna sit here and say that something needs to be done, it needs to be done on a national level. It just doesn't need to be state to state or even city to city. Right now, when stuff gets done, it's city to city. You can't post anything. You have to give it to Gigi.
No,
or
I
whatever.
put at least. Oh, you
Yeah.
can't.
Nobody nobody will see that but you. You have
It's
to. Yeah.
it's a video. It's called
It doesn't
the
work, Gigi.
Sandy Hook Promise, and it hits home. Where's Gigi?
Yeah, it's still been broken. It's been broken since the beginning.
Put it inside the conference and then Hawk can put it up.
Yeah, I can post it if you put it inside our chat box.
And I think the problem, a small problem, is that we need to teach conflict resolution.
You mean more like de-escalation?
No, not de-escalation. De-escalation is more for like people doing their jobs. I'm talking more about conflict resolution, like kids when they get into fights, right? When they get the verbal arguments like that. There's a lot of hormones at that age, and a lot of people can get hurt feelings and all that stuff. If we find a way of more healthily dealing with conflict, it might ease a lot of these things. I'm not saying it's the only cause, but it might be something to combat it, because there's a lot of people in the United States who own firearms and are, completely and utterly careful with them, and they do follow all the regulations, all the laws, and they have legitimate uses for them. But, they don't go around killing people. The thing is, we need to figure out why these things are happening more often.
The only way you're gonna figure that out is it's going to start from home. Because you look at all the recent events where people have been going on mass shootings and stuff. It's something that either they were brought up in a home that was full of hate, and so they don't know anything good. And a lot of them sit there and say that, you know, they hate their life, and, you know, it also goes back to, you know, the saying, misery loves company. Well, you see miserable people all the time that they're just full of toxicity. Like, their mission is to bring others down. They don't give a shit, you know, if that person didn't do anything to them. They don't care if they don't even know that person. They don't care if they're black, white, if they are a good-hearted person, or if they donate to charities and stuff like that. They don't care. What they care about is the fact that they are upset, they are in a pissed off mood, and they want others to feel their pain. It doesn't matter what anybody else say. It's the emotional buildup and the release that they get from pulling that trigger. This article right here is talking about the recent one that just happened. Like, this article came out today, and this was only a couple of days after another shooting in the same, I believe, same city. Well, which California, there's cities and stuff. It's like city inside of a city. But they arrested a 13-year-old boy. A 13-year-old boy. What the fuck is a 13-year-old boy going around with a semi-automatic rifle? He's going around threatening to shoot students and staff at a middle school.
A
middle school.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what my thing is, it takes a while for people to get that upset. It doesn't happen and snap. That happens from one day to the other. There's a slow, progressive buildup over years and years of things happening to these people.
But at 13 years old,
yeah,
you should.
Kids.
We were kids, but you know what? At 13-year-old, I wasn't sitting here. I was not sitting here listening to my teacher talk about conflict resolution, or trying to sit here and act like, you know, mediums, or like lawyers trying to sit here and be the negotiator between a divorce and shit. You know, at 13 years old in middle school, I'm sitting here learning math. I'm hearing about history. You know, I'm sitting here coloring fucking sheets of papers and trying to make my stick figures look like something that they ain't.
Yeah, but
you have to realize nowadays things are a lot different. A lot different. Children are acting more grown. A good indicator is that suicide rates in children are like the highest they've ever been.
Let's
the highest they've ever been.
You know, so I'm gonna overlook the fact that you just called me old on the cool, but
she slicked through that.
I mean, didn't she? She straight up just called me old on the cool, and I'm just like
things are so different now. Like, there's a lot of, and especially with like social media, like cyberbullying is becoming like intense. Bullying in general is becoming intense. I mean,
let's see.
Children are now feeling things and
meanwhile, in Canada,
feeling passionate things that should be acknowledged, honestly. And they're not taught how to deal with the things that they feel. You know, they don't teach you basic things in school, which is sad. Like, they don't teach you how to cook. They don't teach you the important stuff. Like, I feel like mental health, and I'm glad that mental health awareness is becoming more of a thing, but like mental health for children needs to become more of a thing, because it would really help. And now it's not just the children either when it comes to shooting. It's also
so did everybody here go to a home ec class? Did everybody here have a home ec class when they were in school?
I did in middle school. I dropped out of it in high school.
Don't remember it.
Because it's useless in high school for me. Because, I mean, okay, they'll teach you how to make eggs. Okay, once. It's like, for me, it was easier to substitute a different class that'll, you know, give me a better chance of getting into college than that.
I mean,
for me, cake, I'd rather go get that $1.25 box, add eggs, oil, put it in there, and that's
Well,
that.
yeah, but you got to know what to do with it and everything. You got some people that they'll sit here and
That's what the
burn
internet's
water.
for.
Man,
No,
don't
no,
give me
no,
that
yeah,
shit.
no. I'm not saying more. I'm not saying no, but
People
like,
take their tablet and be sitting there watching YouTube next to the kitchen, then they set their kitchen on fire.
yeah. But
I mean,
also
I've put foil in the microwave a few times.
you
What the
what?
fuck?
I
I
did
put
that.
foil in the
Oh,
microwave
God.
accidentally or without even noticing, and my mom was like, "No."
Yeah, I did that.
She
I
caught
had a
me.
burrito, and I was like, "Oh damn, no, this is gonna be mad good." And I put it in the microwave without thinking.
Okay, so Deputy James says, meanwhile in Canada, if there's an active shooter, teacher, okay, children, go to the very open and bright area where we can be seen and shot, kids. Fuck this shit, I'm out, no thanks.
Active shooting practices.
Wow. Okay, so that
Yeah.
is one thing. The school in my district, they have an active shooter exercise every year.
Wait, it increased?
They have an
Oh, that's sad.
active shooter scenario, like an actual practice every year. Every school is supposed to have one here, at least in this county. I don't know if it's statewide, but the thing about it, I do think that, let's just be real. Come on, let's just be real here. We're not going to be able to prevent people from doing evil things.
Correct.
Let's be real. I mean, I'm talking about, like, no bullshit aside. We can all sit here and hope for this and hope for that and hope for this. Let's just get straight down to the juicy. We're not going to be able to prevent people from doing evil things. Because if somebody has evil intentions in their heart, if they're not either by some accident stopped or prevented from happening, or somebody who has a ideal of the type of person they are, they turn them in or say that you need to look at this guy, something is wrong with him, then they're not gonna get caught before they either start doing what they're doing or they're in the progress of doing what they're doing. Because all these school shootings and shootings period that has happened, it's not the fact that we responded to the scene, we got the situation taken care of within minutes. Everybody is so focused on, well, why didn't we know? And I'm like, how are you gonna know? Like, do you live with them? We don't even know who these people are. The one that did the movie theater. And that shit kind of upsets me because now I'm scared to go to the goddamn movie theater.
That was over here, fam.
Yeah.
That's
And-
in two cities. That's the two cities away.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like, the shit that happened in the movie theater, like, it's one of those things where he didn't know anybody in that movie theater. He didn't know anybody in that movie theater. He did not go in there with a premeditated target. He just went to the place where he, with his own knowledge, there was going to be a lot of people. He knew for sure it was a guaranteed mass casualty target.
Well, no, just look at that. Look at that fucker from the concert in Las Vegas. He literally he purposefully didn't go to another one and went to that concert that was happening there because he knew he was going to have more people. He specifically chose the correct hotel and the correct room facing, the correct place to get the most amount of casualties. I mean, a lot of people put a lot of thought into this, and it's sad.
Yeah. And my point with that is the fact that we sit here and we're always focused on, well, how could we have stopped it? What could we have done? Okay, I'm not trying to be hateful and I'm not trying to sound like a cold-hearted motherfucker, but it happened. It happened. Okay? It happened.
See, the thing about stuff like this is that, people who are there, they have like maybe 4 seconds to react.
Yeah.
While we have 14 years to dissect it.
Yeah.
What could you have done better? What could you? When you're in the moment or something like that, man, like you don't got time to think, right? And then the person like you said that he went somewhere where he knew there was going to be a lot of people. That part is premeditated because he
Yeah.
knew where he wanted to go.
Yeah, he knew, and it's from his own experience. He knew he went to that movie theater. He knew that it's frequently filled on a certain day and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he didn't have a premeditated target, but he had a premeditated
Plan.
area of effect.
Mm-hmm.
He knew where to go.
Yeah, he knew it was going to be Batman. The premiere of Batman
Yeah, it was
that night.
Yeah, he went to that. Dude, when I heard that shit, I was just like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? But my thing is, now that we know, let's not talk about the past, but let's talk about the future of things. Like, we should be talking about that when we know certain people have distance social issues, or that when people are have different tics, they have different things that that are tell signs.
Mm-hmm.
We need to communicate more. We need to stop trying to grow further apart and break things apart, and we need to come together and start talking.
That, and I agree with you, but a part of the reason why that does not happen is the other stuff, the other side of that double-edged sword called technology.
Man,
You've noticed in the present, more people will text than they will actually physically talk to someone.
Dude, we are our own worst enemy. You were right.
Yeah, well, back in the day, remember it was, face-to-face conversation, or hell, even a phone call. I remember when I was younger, I would be on freaking 9-way calling with all my friends trying to set up plans.
Dude,
right?
I do a 3-way calling, and the person I'm on gonna 3-way call somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was the hotline.
Yeah, but nowadays, in this case, in terms of the topic, the younger generation, they don't do that. They'll go into a group chat and they'll say, okay, we'll do XYZ and make plans, but they're not actually. When you text somebody, and you can at me all you want, when you text somebody and you're having a conversation with them, you don't grasp the impact of what they're saying.
No.
Because you can't. Because it is in text form. You don't get the precedence of what they're saying because you don't know their tone of voice. You can imagine what they sound like in your head, but in that moment you can't tell.
Dude, I'm tell you what, that raises red flags with me. It raises a red flag with me when somebody will only talk to you in text, and in
person won't say shit.
It's not even just in person. They will not verbally talk to you.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They'll text you all day, all night, but when it comes time face-to-face conversation,
face-to-face conversation, or even a phone call, bro. Even a phone call. Nothing upsets me more. No, Gigi, you're good. You're good, Gigi. I just now got your message. You're good, Gigi. Nothing upsets me more than me getting 26 messages, or even 15 from the same person, and literally you on your end, you're sitting here and you can imagine they're doing the same thing because you're in a heated discussion, and it's just all of that probably could be avoided. And the sad part, both of you are probably misunderstanding what the actual fucking point is, because one, you can't hear the tone that they're saying. You don't know if they're trying to yell, or they're upset, or they're sad, mad, pissed, having a bad day. Why? Because there is no actual communication. I don't think text is communication. I don't. I do not.
I have 2 points here. One, again, I think we need to start teaching younger and younger people interpersonal relationships, conflict resolution, critical thinking. These are things that we're sadly lacking. And the next part is we have to grow with technology. We can't just look backwards. I know that's not the popular thing to do, but these are the problems of today. We can't be looking to the past to figure out solutions to current day problems. So, we have to, it's systemic. But as a society, we have now agreed, hey, you give me a call, I'm annoyed that you're calling me. That's usually a lot of people are annoyed if you call. It's like you could have just texted that. Why waste a minute phone call if you could have texted for 2 seconds? The thing is that we need to keep up with the times, and if we are better able to discuss, talk, and give outlet to our emotions, it might be it might be better going forward. Because personally, I agree. I like talking to people better than texting. It gives a lot more context to conversations. But I don't think we're gonna go back. I really don't. As technology as it's pushing forward, it is changing so fast compared to from the dial-up phone to the cell phone to the big screen to Android to smartphones. It is the progress of which is changing, and now with the internet, it's so far that we have to try to keep up with the changes and stop fighting progress. Because if we don't go along with it, we're going to be left behind.
Well, and I feel you, Tito. I get what you're saying because I'm one of them. Dude, I carry an iPhone 7 Plus, and I feel old as shit. I'm probably the oldest person here. But
what's that you said? iPhone 7 Plus, my guy?
Yeah, I'm saying. I'm saying. But this is
the 5S.
But, you gotta poop. We just gonna say you gotta poop. But this is my thing though. Like, it's because of me being raised in an older generation where we didn't believe in, as we still say, the idiot devices. We didn't believe that was the necessary way to communicate. I'm like what One Above None says. I would get off from school or something, and I'll call somebody on the phone, and I didn't even want to be on the phone that much. I was just like, hey man, what you doing? Oh, I ain't doing nothing. All right, I come over, chill. Or you want to come over here and chill. Fuck the phone. The phone was a way to communicate, just to get a specific point across or to ask a specific question. Unless, you sitting there crushing on some girl and you just sit there and, you just sitting there trying to mack her up or some shit.
Hey, I don't fall asleep on the phone, feel me?
Bro, I did too.
And then you have your mom pick up the other phone.
Ooh, wee!
Wait, do you really want to feel old? Do you really want to feel old? There are kids these days that don't know why you say hang up the phone because they don't know phones used to have cords.
Not cords. You actually had to
hang up the phone. They don't know. So I saw that tweet the other day and I was like, oh,
they don't know what the rotary phone is.
Bro, motherfuckers nowadays wouldn't know how to use one of those things. I do. Man. My grandma had one in the kitchen. It was the only phone she had. My grandma had one in the kitchen. It was the only phone she had. You go up in that motherfucker.
And you better hope. Better hope none that telephone had no nines in there.
There are kids that don't know how burning CDs work.
Well, no.
They don't know that you can burn CDs. Like, they don't know how that concept is just out of the window.
Okay, fuck y'all. Y'all don't know what a goddamn A-track is. So
I know what
I do. I used to own one. Okay, no. Here's the next one. They don't know what a T9 is.
I'm sorry, the what?
I know what a T9 is.
Oh my god.
Use those in school. Yeah. We use this. No, and that's the fucked up thing. They giving our freaking kids, bro. Our freaking 4-year-old kids and 5-year-old kids freaking brand new tablets. I can't afford this shit at home.
Bro, I man.
And they want phones and everything.
Man, hell
They
no.
want cars at young ages.
My son got his tablet taken away from him because he was up on the goddamn YouTube looking at that fucking orange shit. And that's the thing. Okay.
The annoying orange.
Yes, badass motherfucker. Hey. So
that guy is cancer.
This is the thing. We talking about how these kids be acting and going in these schools doing this shit. These motherfuckers got a damn cartoon orange. It's not even cartoon, it's animated. It's an animated orange that sits there and pulls out a fucking gun loaded with freaking seeds they act like it's bullets, and he's sitting here killing apples, bananas, and everything.
No, I want to say this. It's not that.
Dude, you're showing that to a 4 and a 5-year-old.
I honestly do not believe that, because look at all the Christmas commercials for all the kids from 1950s. They had legitimately looking weapons. They had legitimate looking guns. Hell, you had a birthday present for a 13-year-old kid was a pellet gun.
I'm sorry?
No. So violence in the media has always been there.
But
violence in the media has always been there.
But that's all it is now. We no longer have, like, on the weekends or after 4 o'clock when kids are out of school and the freaking soap operas, parents, mom and dad soap operas have went off. We no longer have after school cartoons, like legitimate cartoons. They used to do that when I was in school.
Yo, Disney Plus is out, baby. That's all I'm saying.
I know Disney Plus, but I'm talking about like on actual like CBS and Fox 16.
No. I know.
Cable.
I'm just saying all of those old shows that we used to watch are now at.
Dude, Pokemon and all of them. The actual cartoon Pokemon. Oh my God, there she goes.
She's like yours.
My favorite movie as a child actually was Kill Bill.
But Pokemon,
Nice.
Digimon,
Yeah.
like Pokemon, Digimon,
Digimon,
Power Rangers,
You know,
the
she was on
cartoon
that.
Transformers.
Shit, I was on that.
All of those used to come on from 4 o'clock until 6 o'clock when Friends and them used to come on. That used to happen, and it was for when the kids got out of school. Something
That still happens.
It doesn't go. It doesn't happen. I can turn on Fox 16.
Cartoon Network shows some weird stuff nowadays.
Yeah,
Cartoon Network's been on some. I don't.
Like they had this show called Clarence or whatever, and I was like, "This is weird. This is weird. This is weird."
But this is the thing. This is before they had Cartoon Network, though. I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about regular, like where you can watch the shit with an antenna, like 4, 11, 4, 7, 11, and 16. That's what I'm talking about. There used to be shows when you got out of school. There used to be shows when you got out of school. Because you got out of school
I
at
see
3.
I see what he's saying.
4 o'clock, there's cartoons on.
Yeah, you got your Power Rangers on, or your Darkwing Duck,
I really like
Darkwing Duck, yes, or the Gargoyles, all those things. They don't have that no more. After 4 o'clock, you got Dr. Phil, Ellen, all this reality TV where all they talking about is Tom Cruise and his Scientology bullshit, or who's fucking who.
Those people scare me.
I'm just saying, that's what you have on. You don't have an outlet for young people anymore. What do you tell them? Oh, go to your room and play on your tablet and leave me alone. What the fuck? Really?
Yeah,
or go
Part of it is honestly like.
But that's failure on adults. That's the failure.
That's the thing.
But
Okay,
that's what
here's
they're
the
doing
thing.
because there's
This
nothing
is
on
very
TV for them to
common.
do.
A lot of the times, I feel like issues with children deal with the adults. It's the people parenting them. I feel like I don't want to blame them, but I feel like a lot of the times, like, it's your job as a parent to give your child the tools they need to like get them going.
Correct.
You gave birth to this child. You're the person
Yes.
that they're supposed to trust. You should be the first person there for them no matter what. And I feel like a lot of the times, like, whether it's responsible parenting or whatever, like, they just don't give the kids what they need. Like, for example, constructive schedules. Like, kids after school, they just go and play video games. But in reality, I feel like maybe they should be studying a little bit. They should have some reading time, you know.
It's
because they're
the
still
parents
developing.
shoo them. Okay, I used to work security. I used to work security for a theme park, You know how many
Mhm.
kids I kicked out of there for fighting and all types of stuff, and we had to call the police to come get them because the
Oh my
parents
gosh.
dropped them off at the theme park where they can go out and suck up Joe Blow or whatever the fuck, or go to the casino. And they think like, well, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be there at the theme park for 6 or 7 hours. We can go out here and play hooky, and they use the theme park as a babysitting service. And so
I've heard of that happen.
when they get in trouble, we try to get a hold of the parent. They're like, "Oh, well, y'all can't just let him stay." No, ma'am. He got into a fight with other kids here at the park.
Yeah.
We can't just be like, bad kid, go in there and play. We can't do that
Mm-hmm.
I also think
because you become a danger to other kids.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Well, I'm gonna call." I actually had a parent tell me, "Well, I'm at the casino. I'm gonna call a taxi to come get him."
What the? Excuse me.
No, yeah.
You already know that starts with the parent. That in that situation, that is the parent's fault. And I'm not I'm not going to say that all parents are bad because they're not, right? But parenting is not the same that it used to be.
Dude, you have never lied there.
Because of, and this goes back to what we're talking about, because of technology. Yes, I
People having
understand.
babies that can't support them either.
Exactly.
And it just gets worse. Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, we need as a society, we need to grow along with what's going on in society. We can't just be looking at the bag, say, "Hey, cut all that off." Let's face it, internet in the correct use is constructive. It's useful. It has a lot of cool stuff. Because let's face it, there's a lot of good kid shows out there. There's a lot of good kid shows that are very constructive, very all the thing. But the thing is, if we aren't putting enough attention to our own selves, how are how are we gonna schedule that? Because there are a lot of safeguards put. YouTube has a YouTube Kids that only has certain approved YouTube videos on there.
Mm-hmm.
But you
That
can't.
doesn't
But you
stop
can't.
them.
But
That
but you.
doesn't stop them.
Yeah, because
Well,
you
no,
can't
no,
restrict.
no.
You can't restrict. Like I said, my son. This is on a school-based tablet. I didn't give him the damn thing. This is on a school-based tablet. He's watching.
What, the school gave your kid a tablet?
Yes.
Yeah, there's school programs that
They
can provide
give them
laptops and
tablets.
stuff like
Most kids nowadays either have an iPad, a Surface, or a tablet given from them.
Yeah, and they don't bring them home.
Man.
They don't bring them home. They're locked up at the school because it's
Oh,
assigned to them.
no,
by
no,
the school.
no,
Oh, my
They
brother's
bring
in a
them
special
home.
program. He brings home his laptop. That's
Yeah.
he does work on
My
it.
son is
Yeah.
8. Okay.
The kids
My
here
brother
have
has
Surfaces.
13.
Yeah, my son is 8. So he
Oh, he's
sits there.
tiny.
He sits there, and he was given a tablet,
Mhm.
and it stays at school, and it's because they're eliminating books. They're trying to. They say this saves money because they put all of their learning software and stuff on the tablet, and it's
it does.
assigned
It saves
to them.
thousands of dollars.
And this is the thing: the tablets do not have. There's not like where it's like my iPad that has its own service. The tablets are Wi-Fi based, so they are connected to the school's network. And they're monitored.
Yeah. There's no internet carrier.
Yeah. They're monitored.
Yeah.
But just because it's monitored, don't mean that it's restricted because it has to have internet access and access to certain things.
Yeah.
He
That's not failing.
got
That's
on
not failing.
YouTube and was sitting here watching this damn fucking orange shit. And I'm not afraid to say it, but my son, he's autistic. So he picks up on stuff. Some stuff he picks on really, 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 really fucking good. Like he can work my iPhone better than I can. But then there's that learning curve where he still has a hard time processing, well, that technically is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the thing. You've got a lot of kids, not even just him. I'm not making excuses for him. Because I'll be the first one to tell my son, that ain't how you do things. I'm a hardcore dad. I'll be the first one to be like, that's not how you do things. But you still have these kids out here. They see this stuff and they mimic. Because I'm going to tell you what, There's no person in here, and I don't give a shit who you is because I am a parent myself. I have fucking kids. I have young kids. So you can't tell me nothing. I live the life. Okay? I live the life. There is young kids that when they see something, they mimic it. They don't care if it's right or wrong. Their thought process is, if it's on TV, it's good enough for me to do. That's why technology, I'm not saying it's the root of evil. I'm not saying that. Because I use it on a daily basis. I have to. I'm using it right now. We're using it right now.
Most of us do,
I'm just saying. It is, I'm not saying it is the root of all evil. But for me, growing up without technology, and damn near, it was like, I was, 16 or 17 back when they had those fucking brick-ass phones, the Nokias. Where you can sit there,
baby.
Yeah.
3360.
I mean,
playing Snake with one hand. Let's go.
Hey, when that
3-day battery life.
That damn thing was as big as my damn fire
that's
radio.
the Nextel joint. That's the Nextel joint.
That mother. I mean, you could take that phone and just cold cock a motherfucker. You can take that phone and cold cock a motherfucker. Okay, so I mean, I grew up when phones first came out, and that's what it was. It was a phone.
It was a luxury. It was a high-priced luxury.
When you sit here and call something,
when a call costs $1 per minute,
dude,
prepaid minutes,
yes,
$1 per minute.
But I'm looking at it like this, bro. I'm looking at it like
10
this.
cents a text.
A phone is a phone. It's meant to communicate, call. I remember when they first sit there and started talking about, well, now phones have texting. I'm like, what the fuck is texting?
It's putting your beeper on your phone.
No. That's Nextel.
No. Because I was about to say, I had a pager, okay? I thought I was balling when I had.
Dude, I thought I was pissed.
Hey, I had that goddamn pager, and it had the little chain and shit. The beep 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 beep. You motherfucker hear that shit? Hey, you sit there and just kind of look around and make sure somebody was watching you when you pull it out, because you wanted people to think that, oh man, this motherfucker balling here. You pull that motherfucker out, and you just like, you look down, you like. Yeah. You try to show off, be like, I got a pager. You want my name?
Yeah, the plot twist. The only people that you see now rocking pagers are typically doctors and nurses.
Yeah. Yep.
Because they have a greater range of working underground and inside concrete buildings.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. I mean,
but that's why it upsets me, though, bro. That's why it upsets me.
I get where you're coming from.
For me, on the other hand, I would say YouTube is honestly a good source of education.
I wouldn't say education. I would say information. Not education.
Khan Academy has saved my ass in school plenty of times. So I would say that it's both. But the thing is, you can't, it's technology, but you can't just say, oh, we're going to block out all the things that are wrong with the internet that I don't want my kid to use. Because sometimes it's really hard to differentiate, right?
Boy, the parents see that. See, the parents are so quick. A lot of the parents are so quick to blame everything else but themselves. The problem starts with recognizing it. And if the parents are having an issue with something, maybe they need to look at themselves and be like, maybe I should teach my child what's right. A lot of them don't do that. A lot of children can be so mean and nasty to teachers, for example. They can be so mean and nasty to teachers, and it's just appalling because teachers are there to help you. They're there to help you. They take care of you.
I would say
we're not talking about that teacher the other day that literally beat a child to death. But
no. Have you seen the other one? Where this kid called a teacher "okay boomer" and she won a 5-minute rant. She literally called the kid stupid to his face. I mean, like if you have that teacher, you had to say "Okay, boomer" to them. There is something wrong with that teacher.
Okay, so let me ask y'all. Let me ask y'all this. What the
Oh,
fuck?
shit.
Where did this start coming from? I just now started hearing this last week. When
I don't know,
did this shit
but they
start?
keep using it everywhere, and I'm like, that's
Everywhere I
No.
turn, every stream I go in, there's even fucking stream titles that I sit here and say boomer plat
it
and shit
refers
like
to
that.
people that
Like-
yeah. I think it's
Okay.
a comedy sketch or something. I don't even know.
Well,
See?
it refers to okay, so it refers to okay, Hawk.
Is it
So it
people
refers to
born
people that are our parents' age.
Yeah.
Okay, because you know you have quote unquote the boomers, and then you have us, which is what the millennials, right? And then
Not me. I'm 35.
You don't feel like
No,
you
no,
don't
no,
hey,
feel
hey, hey,
like-
stop,
wait,
stop,
wait,
We,
stop,
we,
stop,
we,
wait,
we
wait,
had
wait, wait.
boomers, Gen
Hawk.
Xers, millennials, and then Gen Z.
Yeah,
It's
Hawk.
What?
short
You
for
are considered
baby
you
boom.
by your age and by your year, you are still
Yeah.
considered a millennial. Because me and you are the same
Oh.
age.
I don't eat ass.
We are on the cusp of the beginning of the millennial generation, right? So
You're a boomer if you're born in the years following World War II.
What?
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so a lot of people are just using the term incorrectly. That's nice.
yeah, they don't.
Oh,
know
I was like,
they don't know what
that's what
they're-
I'm saying, because I was like,
you know.
it was just until last week that I
It has
started
to
hearing
be
that shit.
the elderly. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're like, say, like from, I mean, I don't know the exact date range, but if you are born like 1945, 48 to about, was it 80, 81, that's, you are considered a boomer. Okay. Um, you know, because, and we all know why they call them boomers. They have their own, you know, um, definition.
Mhm.
So basically, Gen, what are we up to
It's-
now? Gen Z?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
Gen Z.
Yeah. So
So
Zoomers.
I just put the thing in the chat that gives a quick overview by it's pretty much a Twitter thing.
there you go.
So no, the thing being is that so millennials after a while got tired of being shit on by the boomers because they say, oh, millennials are killing this, millennials are killing that. Oh, they're crying too much about this, they're crying too much about that. And the millennials collectively said, okay, we tired of that shit. You know, you guys had one of the best economies. You go to school for the cheapest, had the best expansion of this. They had the greatest generation per se. And then we get tired. We get pretty much screwed over everything. Economy's bad, school's bad. People killing people everywhere. War is happening all the time. And then they start trying to preach down to us, talk down to us about how we just need to pull ourselves by our bootstraps and do all this and get all you can do this if you just pull yourself by your bootstraps and all that preaching. And we're like, okay, boomer, like it's like
Yeah.
talk to the hand. It's like trying just to push all that negativity away.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the only thing I can sit here and say is that this whole thing about I didn't know anything about a millennium until people started talking about millenniums eat ass, and I was like, well, I don't eat ass, so I'm not a millennial. So now
Basically, these dudes are the ones that are like, I walk 20 miles to school in the snow uphill when it's
God.
raining at the same time during a hurricane.
That
Those
pisses
are the
me
boomers.
off, bro. When I was young and motherfuckers used to sit there and say, back in my day.
Back in those are the boomers. If
Well,
you
no.
have to use that term.
That is literally what this is fighting, because
Oh my God.
like we were saying, you had a teacher that if you have to say okay boomer to a teacher, that you feel that's an appropriate response, there is something wrong with that teacher.
I'm just like, are
And
you
and then oh
serious?
no, okay, let me see if I can find that link to that video, because it was hilarious. I could not stop laughing.
Because I'm up here like, what? I did what? No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. That's not me. That's not me.
Like Shane, I didn't
Yes.
do it.
But yes, you are. We are on the outer skirts of the beginning of the millennial age.
But I do. But I mean, regardless if people sit here and say that we need to, um, you know,
Okay.
technology is not
So
to blame for things. You know, I'm not saying all technology is to blame for things and stuff like that, but I do agree with Cy where technology has made a big impact in deciding the way certain things have went and the way that we move forward as a culture, because we're so technology dependent. When we survived for so long and we progressed so far without having to depend just specifically and only on technology. Why is it now that we can't even go take a shit without having a damn phone with us and shit? Like, seriously, we
Because
can't
we've
do
become dependent,
anything.
like you said. The
The-
thing is that
Yo, wait, I feel personally attacked. Hold on, I take my phone with me everywhere.
no, it's not just that. It's not just that. Right now, Google has an application that you can install that tracks how much you use your phone, how many times you turn on the screen, how
Yeah.
much time you're on websites, how many times you look at it, how many times you place it down.
Leave me
iPhones do that too.
alone. Leave me alone.
I mean, my iPhone does that too.
Oh,
It sends
yeah,
me.
you're right,
It
please.
sends me. It sends me.
segue, yeah.
Yeah, it sends me a monthly thing saying how much screen time when you've had it
Yeah.
on when you've
Yeah.
had it on the screensaver, when
Yeah.
it's been off, how
So-
many times you did this, and I'm just like, fuck you. I don't need you to sit here. And
Well,
talk
it's
shit to
it's
my
an
face.
accessibility thing too, right? Because like before, the cell phone, the mini, the micro computer, in your pocket, it wasn't accessible. We didn't have the technology back then, right? Now we do. It's kind of like medicine, right? Medicine has gotten better because of technology, right? And breakthroughs in science. But reverse the clock 50 something odd years, we didn't have that. We didn't have the accessibility. And it's going to keep going. There it is. Yeah, that's her screen time.
Focus. It's
Oh my God. Oh
I
my
don't know
God.
11
I
hours
see
and
11.
25 minutes.
I see 11 hours
11
and
hours
25 minutes.
Mhm.
per day.
Girl,
Damn,
per
girl.
day.
Per day for the last week.
Um,
Yeah. Put that thing down right now.
Yeah, you really need the.
It's like
you need intervention.
either you're reading or you're watching something because that is
Whoa,
unhealthy
whoa.
amount of time.
It's
You
a lot
need-
of Instagram and Tumblr.
You need an
Wait,
intervention.
Tumblr is still a thing?
No, I mean you need an
I use
intervention.
Tumblr for like the fashion.
The
fashion
okay, yeah,
photos
okay.
and-
I will admit that. No more porn, though. No more porn.
Oh my
Don't worry.
But my original statement with that was the fact that I still believe that we lack human interactions, which breaks down the communication and us getting our points across. If people actually had a sit down, and I've had a relationship go south because of this. Telling somebody to please get off the phone when all they're doing is surfing Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, whatever, trying to get all up in somebody else's business that ain't got shit to do with them. Telling them to get off that shit just to watch a movie or have some type of social interaction with them for, you can feel like, hey, I do exist.
I just think that we should have phones down while we're eating. That's just my thing.
Dude, I wish they'd get rid of text messaging.
Well, no, I just think that
do.
it's inappropriate to have dinner with someone and half the time you're staring at the phone.
I mean, we could ask the government to be
Yeah.
like China.
For me, I'm not. I don't know about that because when I'm eating,
If you're eating
apart
with
from
someone.
If you're
Yeah,
eating
when you're
by,
eating
if
with
you're,
someone.
yeah.
When you're eating with
If you're
someone,
eating by
being on
yourself,
your
you do
phone
whatever
all
the
the
fuck you
time.
want to do.
Yeah, you eat by
But
yourself.
I'll tell you right now, if I take anybody to fucking dinner or no shit like that, and they got the damn phone next to them on the goddamn dinner table, that would be the last time they hear from my fucking
When you
ass.
eat with someone, you talk to them.
Yeah,
Well, no,
you
no,
engage
no,
with them.
no. There's
Yeah.
difference between a date and just like
It's not even a date,
It's
bro.
not, it doesn't have to be
I
a
don't
date.
take
Like,
I don't
spending
take
time with
nobody
people.
to no damn restaurant. I go to Olive Garden and shit like that if I'm gonna go out. I don't take nobody to no damn. I mean, for real. I don't take nobody to freaking Olive Garden or down to Buffalo Wild Wings or no matter where we go. We can go to eat inside fucking McDonald's. I'm not taking nobody up in there for them to be on their damn fucking phone, regardless if it's a date or not. If that was the case, we'll go to the goddamn drive-thru and I take your bitch ass home.
I'm not gonna lie, I have a friend who I've been friends with her for like 10 years, and her parents always laugh because when I go over to her place, we're both on our phones and we're messaging each other, but we're messaging other friends even though we're sitting next to each other. And I'm like, are you guys really talking to each other on the phone? And we're like, I mean, we do hang out a lot though. Like we do hang out a lot though. I think it's also the fact that we've known each other for so long. It's kind of like we're kind of like chill. Like we've become each other's families.
Into the stereotype side.
No,
you're
we do a lot of things.
in.
We do a lot of things together without our phones. It's just sometimes we usually have our phones because we're cosplayers.
And you were the first person that was talking about technology and how it's like controlling. Come on now.
Yeah, well, I just showed I'm on my phone 11 hours per day.
No, I can't say nothing. I'm probably
also part of it is because like
15.
we're cosplayers, and so we keep up with certain things. Like if something happens, like we're gonna start talking. We're gonna start talking.
Okay.
But you're not cosplaying right now, and you've been on this damn thing 11 hours today.
Stays active.
Oh Lord.
See, but the point I'm getting at is that, you know, in the context, right?
Yeah.
If me and you go out to dinner, okay, and I'm looking at you and you are doing this.
Yes,
no,
right?
Exactly.
Now.
Right.
Exactly. Or someone says something funny. I'm gonna show it to you.
That's right. But
yeah.
But that's a disservice to the person that you are there having dinner with. Because I mean, it could be a date, or you guys could just be going there
hanging out together as friends.
Yeah, hanging out
together, catching up on what's going on in the weekdays.
Yeah, when I take somebody out to eat, it's because I enjoy their dialogue,
their company,
right?
The interaction.
I want to know, or just have that interaction with them. I don't want them to be on their phone, because you can see it. You can go to a restaurant today. You'll have two people that are sitting there.
I said a goddamn word to each other.
Both in their phone. Right, oof. And the only time that they look up is to place an order.
And then the person that's taking the order, the waitress, she's standing there for damn near 5 or 10 minutes waiting on them to put their damn phones down before they can just place the goddamn order.
But that's the point I was trying to make, is that it's there's a time and place to be on your phone.
Yeah.
Like when if you're like you said, right? If you're sitting next to your homegirl, but you guys are talking about something with other people who are not there. That makes sense. But if you're just in a room texting the person that's right next to you and not talking like to each other or the people that are around, like your family members or friends or whoever, it throws a bad vibe, you know, because for me, if two girls are in a room, right, and I'm chilling with them, right, and they're both doing this and giggling and shit, right, I think they're talking about me.
Yeah.
Call me insecure, but if it's something that, if you're not talking about me, then share with the class.
Yeah, I do the same thing even when I'm like in a Discord with a whole bunch of people and they're sitting there they're private messaging each other. I'll sit there and be like, what the fuck are they talking about? Are they talking about me?
Mm-hmm. Or and because I stream, obviously, Hawk, you stream.
Yeah.
Do you stream also?
They don't.
I haven't in a very long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, being a content creator, and then also, I go into a lot of different other people's streams. When I come into the stream, I don't want to see you doing this on your stream, because it gives the perception, and then you're laughing at something that's funny, you
But
know,
you're not sharing it with your stream.
with the with your followers, it gives the misconception that whatever's on that phone is more important, and you're talking about somebody
Mm-hmm.
that's currently there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also like nothing turns me off from watching another streamer is when you follow and then you donate and you subscribe and they can at least say hi to you. I ain't saying that they got to sit there and talk to me the whole goddamn stream.
Mm-hmm.
But can you at least sit there and say, "Hey, thanks for the subscribe"?
Yeah.
Or
you know-
acknowledge my existence.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
you ain't gotta talk to me. I don't care if you don't say one damn thing to me for the rest of the stream. But if I donate and subscribe to you, that means I'm supporting you because I like your content. Can you at least act like that I am a person and I'm not a number? You know,
Right. Right.
I'm
Not just a statistic. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree with you 1,000% because case in point, today, um, I went around to a couple of people's streams. You know, hit up some new followers. You know,
Yeah.
show the love and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Right. And I remember I hit follow on one person's stream, right? And Money had no alert, which is fine, you know. Um, but didn't address me, you know, when I said, hey, you know, how's your day going? Or, you know, hey, what's going on, blah, 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 you know, or anything like that, right? I made the attempt to reach out to the streamer, you know, to get there and you get that engagement.
Yeah.
And
Because
that
I get bored easily. I get
yeah,
bored easily.
that person is just, and I even gave him the benefit of the doubt. They were in the middle of playing Overwatch. We all know how that game ends.
Yeah, a lot of times
Right.
people don't acknowledge you when they're in the comp game until after the game
Right.
is over. With.
So I waited till the match was over. And then, you know, typically people go over and they start recapping their chat. Like, oh, and they'll read it. Nah, nothing.
Yeah.
I went back, I unhit my follow to unfollow, and I kept it moving.
Bro, I've literally went in somebody's chat, followed them, and threw 200 biddies at them, and they have alerts, and they still act like I didn't exist.
Damn.
And they only had three people that was watching them. I was one of the three. And these people they get upset, they get mad, and they sit there and they say, "Oh, well, you know, it's so hard to do this, it's so hard to do that." Well, no, because I'm going to tell you what, the characteristic and personality of how you carry yourself when you're on stream, you're a public figure. You become a public figure when you start streaming. Your image is everything. If you are toxic in your stream, you're only going to attract toxic people.
Of course.
If you actually carry yourself with some sense of dignity and actually talk to people with common sense, you get people who come in your stream that have common sense.
Of
Now,
course.
that's why I always sit here and say that I don't care how many people I have, how many people I don't, I interact with all of them. Now, when I'm Flatbird, thank you for the 100 bits, man. I appreciate it.
I
How are
had
you
someone
doing
today. I had somebody today that told me that when they stream, they don't even look at how many people are viewing them. I said,
a lot of
you
times
are
I don't.
full. I said, you are full of shit.
Dude, I like honestly. Okay, so look at this. I monitor my stream because I'm not OCD, but I'm so self-conscious about what is happening outside because like Streamlabs shows you what is actually being shown. It doesn't show you what other people are seeing. So I actually have there's a new stream manager that Twitch that actually shows you what other people are seeing, and it also has a bitrate health bar and everything. Now, I have my viewer count cut off. Now I can still see who's in there, but I have my viewer count cut off. I used to actually look at my viewer count. Now I still get a log to my email that shows me what was my max average and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get that too.
But I don't. My whole thing is though, why should it matter how many people are actually in your chat for you to actually keep up or be a certain way? It shouldn't be that if I only have 3 people, I'm gonna be a dick. But
No.
If I have 15 or 20 people, I'm gonna try to put on a suit and tie and just be like,
No.
everybody.
What I'm saying is that whether you have 1 person in there or 100 people in there, you carry yourself the same.
Yes.
Right. But
Yes.
for me, when I stream, I like to know, just as a mental check, hey, I have 10 people viewing me right now, you know. And okay, if I have 100 people viewing me right now, I'm still going to be the same person. But it's just, just to know that, hey, people like my content. You know, see, Firehouse can dance.
Hey, Blackbird, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, because when somebody follows me, it does the Gundam style.
Oh,
okay. Open Gundam
style. Because I have the stream open too. I'm like, what are you dancing?
Flatbird.
There it goes. There it goes. Yeah, but let's rein this bad boy back in because we're going high into the left.
But I mean, but we covered a lot of deep topics. That's the thing. Even though it seemed like we might have even got off a little bit of topic, these are things that we need to be thinking about. These are things that we should be considering because I mean these are deep opinions how we feel about stuff that is causing issues. We can't 100% sit here and say we know what was going through these kids' mind and stuff like that. We probably will never know. Let's just be honest. We'll probably never know. It is a sad issue these days with these school shootings. We can sit here and talk about it all day long, but I'm going to tell you, until something is done on a national level, not just a city by city and a state by state, we're still going to have the same issues and the same problems. We're going to have to work together. At the end of the day, we all got to work together.
But another thing is, what measures should we take?
Well, that's the thing. Not every case is the same, and that's one of the number one rules when it comes to emergency services in our training. No matter if it's fire, police, or what, you never treat every scenario like it's the same. I don't care if it's the same call. If it's the same call, it's never going to be the actual same scenario.
But I'm talking about laws or policies or efforts to combat this. I mean, we need to have some sort of at least what you say is something on a national level to happen. We need to have an open dialogue of what could we do to at least help out.
They're not going to be able to do that until they analyze the situations that happen. Because until you actually have the actual facts where you can break down the origin of what started, what they did, was there a specific teacher targeted? Why was they targeted? How did they get into school? Security breaches, the security measures that are already in place, and how they got broken. That's gonna have to be
another one on that one. I have to say, everybody is the one thing that it seems counterintuitive to me, and most people aren't realizing is everybody who is in school who is doing active shooter drills knows exactly what the policies are on how to defeat those active shooter drills. It doesn't take somebody with a science degree to be able to say, hey, this is what we're taught to do. How do we defeat those countermeasures?
Not everybody, because I know that my team doesn't know. I know because I have the handbook. But that handbook isn't given to everybody.
No. I'm not talking about the police. I'm talking about the school in and of itself. When you say there's an active shooter, what do they close the doors? Do they close all the doors down? Do they put things in front of the doors? Do they block the windows?
Back when I was in school, if there was someone because they have codes for it, if someone got onto the premises that wasn't supposed to be there, what they do is they lock the door, they cover the door, and they have the students who can't be in front of a window. Like you have
Can't
to
be in
hide
front
in
of
the
a
corner.
window. Yeah.
Yeah, away from the window.
But see, that's the only thing that you know. There's
nowadays
yeah.
it's not like that. That's not gonna work.
No,
it's
no,
not gonna work.
But there's actually there's like policies in place and stuff.
No, yeah, but you see what I mean? That in those few minutes that before law enforcement comes in and tries to control the situation, the students have an advantage because they've been through what every other student in there has been taught to do in that certain situation.
But they only know it from a student standpoint. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's
the issue.
That's more than enough.
It's not more than enough because it's happening.
But I'm saying though, like he's talking about the fact that if a student goes through the active shooter actions, like what they basically the reenactment. They do a thing every year where they act like one happens, then later on they could come back and use the information they know. But if the information that they only know is that okay, they lock the doors, then that's not all, because I know that I know the handbook I have on it is like this fucking thick. So, and it's more than teachers lock the doors.
No, yeah, but you see what I mean. Even those little tidbits that they let off is helping people plan better attacks at the school.
Hey, I hate Texas, but not every.
No, yeah, but I know what you're saying, that not the whole plan is revealed to the students, but the little that they do know, it does, because you can say, hey, they're gonna lock all the students. Well, they can say, hey, I'm gonna go during lunchtime, or I'm going to do it during a student meeting or something like that. People can find ways around these countermeasures. What they do. Well, like I said, it's not a cure-all to say, hey, the police have these procedures, the school has these procedures. If the people planning the attack are the ones who are being taught on at least some ways of countermeasures to prevent that, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then that goes back to what we were saying before. Evil's going to be evil. We can't prevent. We're never going to be able to prevent people from wanting to do evil things. If there's a way for it to happen, they're going to find a way to happen. If that was the case, then there would be no crime in America. There would be absolutely no crime whatsoever in America.
You can just do what Japan does.
Oh, God.
I mean, that probably won't work.
It's
a good system. You have to go through constant testing and everything.
Well, okay, no. Here's my take on it. We can never go to that. Not anymore. 3D printers are a thing, and there is no way of going back.
Well,
gun.
I mean, if we need to regulate harder, we regulate harder.
Well,
no.
But, okay.
How can you regulate data?
There's a will, there's a way. No, you can't regulate the data, but you can regulate the access.
How do you
can regulate the access?
Well,
I was gonna say how even China can't regulate it. China still, they have the hardest enforcement of internet policies available, and there are still people who get around that all the time. So I mean, when you have somebody, like I said, is dedicated to causing harm, that is out, you cannot do that. Since the availability of 3D printing, and even you don't even need 3D printing. People with enough shop knowledge can make a shotgun from 2 pipes and pretty much just welding one end shut. There are ways around this. So gun violence is here to stay. We just need to be able to mitigate those risks.
But they don't have gun violence in Switzerland. And
or Japan.
Everyone owns a gun, and
they also have free college.
Yes, but also they can't have ammo with the gun. The gun has to be separated from the ammunition at all times.
So why can't we do that here?
I'm not saying we can't. I'm saying that there are ways we can. They're saying there are things we can, but we can't just eliminate. We can't just say get rid of guns or put more regulations on guns and have these things disappear overnight. If someone is willing to cause harm, they will find a way of doing it. What I'm saying is that there is no cure-all. Like since the advent of the 3D printing, the Freedom firearm or whatever, it's you can't even you say, hey, even if we destroy all the guns, right? There will still be able to be people who can make these in 2 hours and only need a nail to be able to produce it. 6 shots. Like I'm saying that we need different ways of trying to manage and prevent things like this, because just trying to eliminate guns is not an option anymore.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can't obviously get rid of them all, but you can sure. The fact that, like, not trying isn't going to help anything.
And
things
also,
have to be tried.
and
things
also,
aren't being tried, and we're dumping it on the children because the children have to deal with this. They have to learn They have to learn how to protect themselves against this. We're putting it on the children right now, not the people actually killing the children. I hate to say it like that, but that's how it feels.
But again,
it shouldn't have to be like dealing with this.
The sad truth is that the Constitution has a right to bear arms.
The Constitution's flawed.
No, I'm not saying it isn't, but
you also aren't allowed to impede on other people's rights, and I think murder falls under that. But
no, yeah, I'm not saying.
We're not gonna talk about the Constitution. That's a discussion for a whole entire time. Godly.
I was say we can't change the Constitution. Personally, I don't think it needs 75% of the states willing to change the Constitution for it to happen.
No, we're not.
It ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
We're not even gonna get into that.
Yeah,
we're not even gonna do that.
They can't even agree to disagree, so.
Yeah, we're not even. Yeah, I mean, shit. Half the time you
they
can't get
even
anybody.
I was about to say,
we're not. No, because we're about to start.
Right now,
No. Fuck no. All right, guys. We're gonna end it here. We're damn sure gonna end it here. I appreciate everybody coming out. We're gonna take a 30-minute break, and then I'm actually going to end the stream here because I upload all my talk show episodes to YouTube. So I'm going to end the episode here, and we will be back here in roughly 20 minutes for Overwatch After Dark, and y'all get to see me actually practice my hook game. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going out trolling. So if y'all want to see some top-notch trolling, y'all know where to come. It's going down.
On my way.
I'm going to get me a drink.
on my way.
Oh wow.
Oh,
I mean, you're gonna be in the dark.
After dark.
For anyone that doesn't know, the light in my room is motion censored, so it turns off if it doesn't.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought they came in.
No, it's motion censored. It's a newer dorm, so they have fancy lights. We can't afford
in the bedroom.
actual...
Like what the fuck? That's some crazy shit. That looks freaky to the motherfucker.
Wait.
I had to go a certain way to get it, so I just touched the ground because I think that's the best way.
I thought she was about to fall out the chair. I was about to say, girl, you been drinking?
No.
Damn, yeah. I was like, girl, you been drinking? Damn, you been drinking? Okay. Alright, yeah. Guys, if you're not following me on all my social media platforms, even though I just sit here and said I hate social media, that is true.
Social media.
Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, and if you're not in the Discord, get up in the Discord because the conversations unfortunately keep going up in there about stuff that we talk about
I don't have Twitter.
What?
I don't have Twitter.
Yeah,
I don't have Instagram. I just have
Instagram.
So
I don't even like Facebook. Facebook annoys me.
Fuck Facebook.
I barely have Facebook, and that's
let's not even go there. I'm about to say, let's not even.
I
go
only
there.
use Facebook for party invites and for like the odd family picture.
Don't nobody invite me to no damn party, so fuck it in Facebook. I don't get invited to shit. Oh, I take that back. I bet I say that. Kat invited me down to San Antonio, so I better stop. But other than that, I ain't got invited to shit. You know, somebody came in here earlier talking about fucking food, and they live.
Biscuits and gravy.
I know, I'm pissed at her for that shit.
I said no to that earlier. They were serving at the dining hall, and I was like, only healthy.
I'm going to find her on Discord
I had
right
ramen.
now because I'm fucking pissed.
I was
I
lazy.
wanted the fucking food. I wanted that fucking food. Like, now I'm fucking pissed. Okay, so...
Postmates!
Alright, so, yeah, guys, get in the Discord, follow me in the Discord and stuff. Appreciate everybody being here. We do these, the talk show is a thing. It happens every Friday at the same time, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have different topics and stuff, and as you see, it gets very intense. It gets very heated. We want to thank One Above None for coming and joining us. Hopefully, he will continue to join us because he has some good inputs on things. We got Tito down below, and Sai, our resident psychologist with the poo. Yeah, dude, I'm all over the fucking place.
Also, we have to say a shout out to Monsi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Monty.
Yeah, she
wasn't feeling well.
She wasn't feeling well and everything. So Muncie, appreciate you for joining, and
Monty.
we hope that you get well and you're able to return back to the flock. But yeah, we're gonna take a 15 to 20 minute break, and I will restart the stream. I'm probably not gonna do the whole intro and stuff because probably people are like, I'm so sick and tired. So, but we will start back up the stream and stuff, and we'll be back with some Overwatch After Dark. All right. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining. And we will see you next Friday on the HawkPack Nations talk show. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Okay.